Yes, good people. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another Blue Morning show, specifically Chelsea Transfer Watch. I hope you're all doing well. I appreciate you all finding the time to join us once more. Today we have so little to talk about, but the truth is, we'll talk about so much we'll talk so much about that little items we have lined up to discuss today. We'll seek news or information with regards to Hakim Ziyech's future, talk about our pursuit of Dusan Vlahovic, talk about Moises Caicedo, Lautaro Martinez, and the manager himself, the interview, the press conference he had, and things he said personally about the players. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, once again, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. I hope you're all eating blue, sleeping blue, and overall waking up blue. I appreciate you all for finding the time to join the show. I think I missed one, and overall living the blue life. As for me, that's what I do. Again, thank you once more. And for those of you that are watching, but for some reason, one reason or the other, not able to find the time to participate in the chat, remember, we appreciate you because you're watching alone. It does provide great value to the community. So thank you. But if you can do us one tiny bitty favor, just one small favor, take a second to drop a like on the stream. We'd really appreciate that. But more importantly, thank you for being a part of the show this morning. Let's see what we have in the chat already. Not too many. And I thought I get to say hello to everybody in the chat. I will share the link to the panelists. So if they have time, they can join me. Because I don't bore you out with my opinion alone. Big up to you too, Francis Winters. I hope you're doing well. And who else? Francis Winters saying, smash the like button, people. We'll have 35 likes already. Let's try and get it to 300 likes by the time the show ends. But more importantly, I appreciate you all. And Calvin Chamariel says, yes, sir. Big up to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. Hello, Coach. Good morning. Where with Julius? Good morning to you too. I appreciate you joining. A happy Sunday to you and the other panelists. Happy Sunday to you too. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Big up, Coach, and everyone online. Love and respect. Something to you, Aaron Judge. I appreciate you finding time to join. Let's see. I think we'll start addressing the items we have lined up immediately. I just we don't have too much going on in the chat. Yesterday we couldn't stream because we have poor internet connection. I waited for it to stabilize. That did not happen. But that's, by the way, we will start addressing the items we have lined up as soon as possible. Let's see. And Adebayo Balogun, good morning, Coach. Good morning to you too, Adebayo. I hope you're doing well. We are at 36 likes already. Let's get the likes up and shoot for 300 likes as soon as possible. Let's start addressing the items we have lined up here. The first one, just give me 1 second here and see. Let's go. The first item, this is one story I'm also very interested in seeing how it pans out for a long while now. I think there hasn't, you can say there hasn't been too much movement with regards to the club's pursuit of Matheus Franca. Matheus Franca is really appreciated by Chelsea Football Club, to be specific. He is a player that they have been following for a long time. I can mention that the player will be really excited about the possibility of joining Chelsea, which simply means or implies that he wants to join us. But I'm hearing that Flamingo they're asking for, I think, something to the region of, I think, 21 million pounds. I'm not too sure. But if I recall, what they're asking is quite a lot, given that he hasn't played in Europe before. But he's a good player overall. I'm not too sure where we're at with that right now. But we keep an eye open if anything new emerges with regards to Chelsea's pursuit of Matheus Franca. The rest assured that we'll talk about it here. Let's see what else we have. So one more comment in the chat. A bit too slow this morning. Big up to you too, Kishan, my New York bro. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. So now I'll go straight to the next item we have lined up. We don't have too much this morning, as you can see. But more importantly, if you're watching and for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat, please, we appreciate you. More importantly, first of all, thank you for watching, because that alone does go a long way for the community. But if you can do us one more favor, take a second, drop a like on the stream. We'd really appreciate that. And if you can, please do share the link to the stream on whatever social media platform where you have presence, and that will go a long way for us. So, but more importantly, thank you for participating. Let's see. Big up to you too, Kishan. Super chat. Thank you for sharing. I'm not sure what to make of that. But more importantly, nice to see you, brother John Farley. It's been like 1,000 years the last time I saw you in the chat there. But I hope you're doing well, John Farley. I appreciate you finding the time to join us today. Top man, you too. I appreciate you, brother. Let's see what else we have here. What item we have lined up to discuss. This we call him the elephant in the room. Some say the mammoth. Some say the dinosaur in the room. It's one case, or you can say one issue. No matter how you try, as long as you talk about Chelsea, Lukaku, the topic Lukaku will always, you can say, be talked about, no matter how you try to avoid it. But this starts by saying, it's quoting Simon Jones of Mail Sports, saying, Inter Milan's offer to Chelsea for Romelu Lukaku was £23 million. These failed to convince Chelsea, and they rejected it, and they wanted at least £14 million. That's what I've heard. We've always known that Chelsea will find a way to move him on. The relationship has gone down south. I don't think he's still around, or he's still a Chelsea player just because we want to keep him to play for Chelsea again. I think that's because we value him. Our valuation, the clubs that want him, or you can say Inter Milan specifically, because they're the only club that have pushed seriously to sign him. They haven't put forward any offer that measures the valuation of the player, or let me say Chelsea's valuation of the player. Let's say following that report, there's another one on Lukaku that says Chelsea considering bids of Romelu Lukaku in the region of 45 million euros, 45 million euros range. Al Hilal and Juventus in the race. Inter's bid rejected out of hand. Lukaku is seriously considering Saudi Arabia. But I'm seeing some other reports saying that that's not the case, that his focus is still Inter Milan. Even one report is from Tobeho, who also he does have some sources with regards to Chelsea's transfer activities. He's saying total nonsense that Lukaku's focus is still Inter Milan. But I think by now he'd probably come to realization that Chelsea are playing around in terms of their valuation of him, because they spent quite a lot of money buying him. But whatever happens, I don't know how much we'll end up selling him for. But the truth remains, I think he'd end up leaving Chelsea. He's not going to stay. But that's, by the way, I have IBC in the house. My blood brother, my Niger bro. I appreciate you finding the time to join. I don't know if you have time to talk now. And knowing you too well, you probably say, let's move on. Because this is nothing new. I think the only thing new here is the fact that Inter did come with, you could say, what they feel is an improved offer for Romelu Lukaku, and we refused it. We rejected that out of hand, according to Ben Jacobs. But let's see what else we have here. Dybala Balogun says, any update on the shirt sponsorship? Nothing. He said nothing serious. But I think people are concluding or coming to the conclusion that it may well be Nintendo, given how the admin, Chelsea admin, social media admin, he's been teasing people with when you take the time to look at the tweets, you can say teasing us for what's to come tomorrow. That is the 10th, or yeah, the 10th. He's appointing everything. If you played Nintendo before, or if you follow you can say his post, you'd say it's looking more like it's going to be Nintendo. But we're hearing also a conflicting report that's pointing something to the effect of the possibility of us going into the sixth season without the shirt sponsor. And the club, the Chelsea aren't in a hurry to agree terms with any of the potential new shirt sponsors. But we'll see what happens. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. If you have anything to say with regards to Lukaku's Chelsea future, go ahead, you drop it in the chat, and I'll be glad to look at it. Because if I have any opinion with regards to what you said, you'd hear it from me. But pardon me, I have to take a sip of my coffee because I'm still recovering and I don't want to lose my voice. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Any updates? Yep, I just talked about that. Smash the like button, smash the like button, people. Says my bro Bobby. I hope you're recovering well. And that brings to mind Liam Len, if you're watching, I hope you're recovering well, brother. I haven't forgotten about you. And soon I'll reach out to see how you're doing. And Bobby says, Coach, I will see if I can join the panel later if I finish my morning treatment in time. More importantly, get better, brother. We know you're always with us. You're always listening. And whenever time allows, whenever you have the energy to do so, you do join us. But I appreciate that. IBZ sounds like you don't have the time or you don't have any take.
I'm here, my bro.
To run the Lukaku's Chelsea future.
I'm
I know you are at work, so that's why I'm not pushing. I wasn't pushing too hard.
I'm not even. Good. How you doing, man? I
can't complain.
I'm just out and about, on this nice Sunday, just taking a little walk, and yeah, man.
Brilliant.
Yeah, man.
Brilliant. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything to add with regards to run Lukaku's future? I mean, it's nothing new.
No.
The only thing different is that we rejected Inter Milan's bid for Romelu Lukaku out of hand, and Lukaku is now subsequently seriously considering a move to Saudi Arabia. But at this point, I'd say this is just rumor. And Tubeho himself released a report saying, from what he's been told, that Lukaku's focus is Inter Milan, but he may well be forced to go somewhere else if we're refusing to sell.
Coach, I'm just focusing on the manager's mindset. Focusing on players that want to be here and that are here at the club. Obviously, the elephant in the room being Lukaku is still at the club. He needs to report back this week, but I'm sure that will sort itself out, considering what we know. So I'm not worried at all. I'm just here waiting for the incomings. That's my only worry, just incomings. But in terms of Lukaku, I'm sure it will sort itself out like it already has over the weekend or so.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll soon start talking about the manager. I think everything he's said, he's been hitting the right tone. You can say he's a good orator overall. But we'll come back to that in a bit. Let's keep addressing the items we'll have lined up. And if I need IBZ, I will bring him on. He's always he says he's not at work today, but just taking a walk. Yeah, Bobby, thank you so much for saying that. Is Mauricio Caicedo's deal still on with Chelsea and Brighton? We've been told that Mauricio Caicedo at this point is Chelsea's priority, and that's why, according to the reports that I'm referencing, and that's why you haven't heard us. You haven't heard much talks about us pursuing other players. But also there are also some other reports saying that we are behind the scenes working on other transfer targets. One of them being Dusan Vlahovic. Some are saying one of them being Romeo Lavia. I don't know too much, but you rest assured, the club, we've been talking with having, you can say, conversations or negotiations with Brighton, and it's not a straightforward transfer because it's you can say it's he's going to be an expensive player. How much, I do not know. Some are saying that Brighton are asking for £100 million, but I'm not too sure we're going to pay anything close to that. But let's see what happens. But thank you, Mate Mike. One day, I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Stanley Madu, I appreciate you one day too. Good morning to you too, and thank you for finding the time to join. And please keep dropping the likes on the stream. We are at 49 likes. Let's shoot for 300 likes a day. And if you can share the link to Facebook groups, Chelsea Facebook groups that you're a member of, and or whatever social media platform where you have presence, so that more people can join us, and you get to get you can say a diversified opinion on the show, not just me, but some and other panelists are boring you with our opinions. It's Moses Caicedo deal. Yeah, it's still on. I think I've answered that question to the best of my knowledge. It is still on. 90 okay, but 90 pod minutes, 90 plus pod minutes. It sounds like you own a podcast. If that's the case, let me know. We usually like to help other people, other content creators, especially Chelsea content creators, promote their channels here. Lukaku's price tag is 45 million in euros, but I think in pounds it comes down to around 30 plus, or at least 30 million. I don't see Inter Milan paying that amount. Yeah, I think they made it clear they're not willing to pay anything close to that. They want him on a cheap. And at the same time, you could argue, actually, it doesn't sound like they want to sign him, really. It doesn't really sound that too serious about signing Romelu Lukaku. I think they have a good relationship with him. And at the same time, the fact that they've signed Marcus Thuram, who's younger and actually more versatile, a better overall player. The only thing Lukaku has over him is just experience. Chances are they don't really want Lukaku, but they just don't want it to end in a way that they will ruin the good relationship they have with him. In case he terminates his contract with Chelsea, buys out his contract, and he comes to them for one more season before moving to Saudi or so. But I'm not too sure what to really make of the situation. Chances are they want him, but they know they feel like we're desperate enough to get rid of Romelu Lukaku, and they strongly believe they can get him on a cheap, which is why they are, you can say, presenting a peanut offer on the table. Seems like we are stuck with one deal that fails to be completed. Moises Caicedo, I think we're going to pull that one through. Believe me, brother. And 90 pod minutes plus 90 plus pod minutes. Tell me if you own a channel. Let's see how we can help you or promote your channel there. Big up to you too, Jacob Hoggins. I appreciate you finding time to join the show. And Chelsea all the way. Always nice to see you. Big up Kuchila and the chat. I appreciate you finding time to join. Everywhere it's kind of too quiet. I am concerned about income. Here's the thing. I think I agree with you. It's been too quiet, but I'm not concerned. But it's been too quiet to the liking of some quarters of the fan base who used to every transfer window. If we're not linked with a mover for all the best players in the world, then something is wrong. But I'm not seeing it from that perspective that something is wrong. I'm seeing it from the perspective that the owners that actually they prefer moving behind the scenes, and I like that. Although at some stage we'd start hearing about the players who are really trying to sign, because I'm sure, and I know you're sure too, we're not done. We have quite a lot to. We should be signing at least 3 to 4 players more. Everybody should stop hyping Colwill. I know he's a good player, so I'm not going to go to the extent of saying he's the best defender in the world, but he's good, and he has the potential to become one if he keeps working hard. Summer says, boss, your live streams are held at times when most of those in the US are asleep. Can you consider your American audience in your plannings? Yep, lots of plans are in place, and I think the evening shows will start. The evening shows will start, which will be starting around, I think, around 1 p.m., 1:30 p.m. PST, which will make it easier for our American audience. Believe me, I'm an American too. I live, to be precise, I live in Las Vegas. So yeah, but that changes, and that will actually help the community grow even further, because I'm sure my fellow Americans would want to, that our Chelsea supporters would like to support the channel too. But thank you. I appreciate you saying that, and I would do that. Helgi, I've spoken. I just had a conversation with him last night. We'll start the evening shows again, the daily roundup show where he goes through the media and put put together, or you can say, everything with regards to Chelsea out there in the media, and to present them in a concise manner to our followers here. So thank you for bringing up. That will get me to keep pushing him to do that. Juventus want Lukaku too, and he's having thoughts about joining Saudi Arabia Saudi Arabia club, according to Ben Jacobs. Yes, I've seen that, and I think probably if we're to believe that particular report, it simply means that he's come to the realization that we're not budging, we're not looking to sell him for cheap, even though he's helped Inter in so many ways by putting out public comments with regards to him wanting to go back to Inter and Inter Milan alone. Then we're showing that we have some authority with regards to where he goes, because we're the selling clubs, so to speak. Constantine Dante, I'm still not 100% fit, but I'm still able to say your name like I like to say. Big up to you, brother. Always nice to see you. And that's your ID. Chip Chilla, appreciate you saying that, brother. Much love to you. Usidame in Monaco says, let them give the manager the players he wants before the preseason games begin. I think they're doing that. They're working diligently behind the scenes, like as I've explained. Do not worry so much. I get it. The manager himself is the type that even if we don't sign any players any further, he'll be able to make do with what he has and do well. But I think for us to really do well enough, as well as we expect the manager to do, we have to sign players, about at least 4 or 5 players at this transfer window, and sign strategically, not just throw money at players for the sake of it. If that makes sense, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Coach, how many hours of sleep do you get? Yeah, it's I do sleep during the day because I work at home. I work from home. Sometimes it can be difficult, and I teach classes too. Sometimes, and you're required, if a student is in dire need of your help to help understand some. Yeah, I'm not going to show what subject I've teach. Probably must have said it some time ago. Then you have to make time. So there's no guaranteed sleep. Again, you're not guaranteed. I don't know. You can say there's no guarantee I get enough sleep every day. Plus, I'm at home. School isn't. The kids are on holiday, so it's usually difficult to sleep without watching them. They're too young to be left alone. They will do some damage if you did that. But thank you for asking that question. And Farai Muntanga says, it's high time we need to move on as a club. Cannot wait. Cannot we identify any other hot player and forgot about this Brighton board? Here's what I have to say with regards to what you just said right now. If we're still, you can say, pushing for him, which means talks have been positive. The truth remains that those that were quoting that Brighton are asking something north of 100 million, based on the fact that Declan Rice was sold for 105 million. It's just them putting out something that they know if they have out there, we will suck up to it. It's just as simple as that. There's nothing too serious about that. I'm sure the negotiations are progressing. I'm sure we've made progress, and that's why we're still there. Otherwise, we would have pulled out right now. He's already agreed personal terms with us, and he wants to join us. And you can argue Arsenal pulled out of the race to sign Moses Caicedo the moment they realized that he actually prefers coming to Chelsea. Same as Bayern Munich and all the interested parties, if that makes sense. But thank you for saying that. And we have Adebayo Balogun says Chelsea winger Nani Mudryk said that he will be making sure that Levi Colwill comes back to Stamford Bridge with him. Who would you rather start at the left or centre back, Badia Shile or Levi Colwill? You don't put me on the spot, please. For me, right now, they're both good players, and they're both within the same age bracket. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not going to do that. Honestly, I'm not doing that. I think they differ, but at the moment, I can't quite, you can say, put my finger on what aspect that on how they differ. But I think with time, I'll be able to be well acquainted with that. Right now, you can say they have something in common. They're very cool-headed on the ball, never in a rush. And they're both, you can say, they're both intelligent players. That I'm going to leave it at that at this point and not tell you which of them that I prefer. But that's why the way Chelsea Alderman says, Kachila, it's a different job you're doing. If you are appeased at the US followers, you're going to alienate all the followers. Just it's a difficult balance to achieve. But here's the thing: I think we will achieve the balance by the Blue Morning Show will still be there. So if you're not able, or if the evening shows, which is will be airing, it's at 10, 11 p.m. UK time, isn't convenient for you, the Blue Morning Show will still be convenient for you. So I don't think we'll be alienating anybody. It's as simple as that, if that makes sense. But thank you for that suggestion too. Okay, good. I thought you don't sleep afternoon either. Then I'll one day pass out during the show if that's the case. Ben Constantine. Wow, we have two Constantines in the chat right now. Greetings from Cyprus. I'm really enjoying your shows. Thank you so much for saying that, Ben. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We are at 59 likes. Let's get it to 60 and shoot for 100 likes. Just a swap Lukaku with Vlahovic. Maybe if Juventus is interested. I don't think Juventus will ever agree. I don't know. These days, you hardly see a straight swap in terms of a straight player swap. It hardly happens. And that's because it complicates the negotiation process, or it compounds the negotiation process, if that's the language you prefer, because clubs of valuation of players differ. Juventus they might not value Lukaku that much, and then that becomes a problem. And they value Dusan Vlahovic so much. But let's see what happens. If they are able to facilitate the straight swap, maybe us paying them giving them Lukaku plus cash, I'll be shocked. But let's see. Both Badiashile and Colwill will share the role. And you can actually start them both. The fact that they're left-footed doesn't mean either of the two cannot play on the right-hand side if we're playing with a back four. They're the future. It's as simple as that. Let's see. Yeah, Ben, welcome to the community. Feel at home. Express yourself. All we ask of you is just to keep it a civil. It's as simple as that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 59 likes. And if you're on a desktop, I'm not sure if you can see that on an Android, but I think you can see that if you're using Android devices. You will see a heart icon at the base of the chat window. You can click the 100. Should I call that emoji or the heart emoji? The smile. There's also what's this called itself. That will help us trigger the YouTube algorithm, so it pushes the stream to more people who be interested in the topics we'll have lined up to discuss today. Let's see what else we have here. Dybala news. Nothing new or nothing different from what we heard a few days ago. That we put in that we have an offer on the table for him. I'm not too sure whether to believe that or not, and that he's agreed to take a pay cut to join us, and that Mauricio Pochettino really likes the player. I'm going to leave it at that. I haven't seen anything new beyond that. Let's see what else we have here. Can Dybala come? There's a chance. There's a possibility there. For 12 million euros release clause, it won't be a bad addition to our squad. And another big risk at that price. Good morning to you too, Anthony F. For day. Always nice to see you. Supreme Quaz, always nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. And we have Anthony who says, I am really enjoying the show. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and thank you for taking the time to say that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 59 likes. Let's take it to 60. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes today. And if you want to become a member, sorry, I can't. But if you go to the comments, to the description of the video, you'll see a link to become a member. That helps us sponsor students every month. We have a project called Project Stay in School. We've done it, I think, 3 times now. The first winner was $100, the second one $50, and the third one $50. And and they've all contacted us, and they've all received the prize and money that they want. And if you can become a member, it's just $2.99. We'd really appreciate that. So thank you, and thank you so much. Let's see what else we have here. Any updates on Ryan Turkey move? Nothing new. Just the last thing we heard stopped at us being interested, and that we've been following him for a long while now. Beyond that, nothing else has happened since we started hearing about us being interested in signing Ryan Turkey from Lyon. Seems we're going to get players in after the season has started. If we're going to be signing a single player at a time, preseason is very important for players. Bonding and understanding one another's style of play. I think it makes sense, but we're not going to, for that reason, be in a hurry to sign players. That could lead to us making, you could say, making some serious mistakes. Time is ticking. Our main targets need to be brought in as soon as possible because preseason has begun and the depth isn't great. We've sold quite a lot, so we need to bring in quite a lot. It's something for planning to make up the numbers with the young players we have in the squad. And I do not know if that's going to be the case. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. It's Best Chelsea FC Show. Thank you so much for saying that, Constantin Dante. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 64 likes. Let's get it to 100. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes today. So let's make that happen. Let's look at what else we have lined up today. As I said, we don't have too much lined up to talk about, but the truth remains we'll talk so much about the little we have to talk about because lots of us, we have a lot to say, and I don't blame you. Let's see what else we have in the chat. Then before we go to the next item here. Done already. Ben Constantine, thank you so much. I appreciate you doing that for us. Let's see what else we have lined up here. Let's see. Give me a second here. And Chelsea Audio says Arsenal played Watford yesterday while we're struggling to sign Caicedo. That's the least of my concern, really. The fact that the preseason already has begun for us, that's okay by me. And the fact that overall, before the preseason ends, we'll be playing around, is it 6 games in total? That's enough for me. And the games are concentrated in the same area of the United States, not like last season where we had to travel quite a lot to play some distance to play a single game, if that makes sense. Lukaku will end up going up for, he better. Let's see. I think he end up leaving for how much I sincerely do not know. Marlon Shah, this came as a shock to me. Maybe he's recovered because I'm quite sure you cannot sell an injured player. Just give me a second. Yeah, this came as a shock to me. I was actually arguing that we cannot sell him because he's injured. It turns out probably he's recovered. Maybe we feel like he's going to recover very soon, and then we'll put him on the market. He's a young player. I've always argued let me not just get into that argument. We signed him on as a free agent, so I think whatever our clubs are willing to offer, and I don't think we need him right now. We have 2 left-footed center backs, and we don't need one more, if you ask me. But let's see what happens here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way, and good luck to him because I think there's a good player in him. At most right now, I think he'd be 23, but he should be around 22 years old. I believe a Caicedo deal will be concluded next week. I believe it will be concluded. When? I honestly do not know. But thank you for saying that. I mean, going to Saudi for the money, I think he may well end up going to Saudi Arabia. Anthony Okonkwo says, glad to see people appreciate the importance of a binding contract. Reality has hit Lukaku, and Colwill again is in the same boat. If he drops his tools, the ball is in our court, and hopefully folks will recognize that. I think a lot of people know that, but it becomes risky when that person has about a year or less than a year left on their contract. And Colwill, he has just 2 years left on his contract, and the more that winds down, you can say he'd have would be, you can say it'd be difficult to get him to put pen to paper for a new contract. And if you push him, force him to say, he will run down his contract and leave us a free agent. But I understand your point quite clearly. Please saw any signings for Chelsea. No new signings except for Jackson and the you can say the under 18s that we've signed of late. But I think we'll still sign players. So calm down and keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. Lots of clubs are interested in signing Sa, according to reports. Yep, I've seen that myself, and we have that lined up. And please, you can have conversation, discuss whatever you want to discuss. I cannot control that. That's fine. But if you want me to read your comment, it has to be aligned with the current topic. And right now we're talking about Malang Sarr. We signed him on a free. I think so. If we can get anything, it will be good. But his salary is 120K per week. Wow, that's quite a lot, really. And what about loaned players? I think they've all returned. We have Ethan Padu, and we're seeking to sell him too. We have other players. I don't have them off the top of my head. It doesn't even seem like the club are looking for an alternative for Ugarte. We probably should be so that we can revisit the Caicedo deal later. The Caicedo deal isn't the one you leave for later. I think I agree with the club. The priority right now is to sign to conclude to get the Moises Caicedo deal over the line before any other player, and that's according to Fabrizio Romano, and I agree with that. Caicedo will probably end up being one of our most important signings this window, and we've been told that the club are also looking at all the midfielders, but we just do not know who. So maybe they found a way to get the journalists not to leak who are interested in signing. But let's see what the club does. Sarr actually did okay for us when he signed, and now matured. Will be better also playing a left back. He's versatile. I know a lot of people think he was bad. No, he wasn't the reason why we struggled. We had a very crappy defense, and we had a very crappy midfield. Our best midfielders were out injured, and the midfielders we played, two sixes we played at the time, they weren't able to protect our defensive line effectively. So our defense was exposed, and he was the one that everyone was pointing finger at. If that makes sense. So disappointed with Colwill's behavior. How would a player like Badiashile feel with this Colwill's behavior? I don't care. I don't care how Badiashile feels. The most importantly, if he's fit enough, I think he gets the chance. And he's better, and he proves to be the better of the two. He gets to play, and I trust Badiashile. He's an excellent player, and for a while, Badiashile will be one of our best signings ever, given how much we paid for him. So I'm not really concerned. Any news on Ryan Cherky, Gabriel Veiga, and Florian Wirtz? Nope, nothing new, except what you've heard before. Lord Anneman, that we're interested in those players. The most recent thing I've heard is, you can say, with regards to Gabriel Veiga, that even though we've heard rumors that Manchester City are interested in signing him, that we're actually planning to present to present our initial offer as we try to sign a Gabriel Veiga. I don't know how truthful that is, but that's the last thing I heard. Gabriel Veiga didn't impress me yesterday. I'm not going to judge him based on a single game. I have to be honest with you, but it's a Chelsea thing. I remember when what Mason did, what he did to what's his name, the Leipzig defender that Man City are pushing to sign, Vadio. People say, wow, is that the player we're going to pay that much money for him? No, these things happen. Sometimes you'll have a bad game and sometimes you'll have a good game. And I'm not going to judge Veiga for just one game. Have you watched other games? And Mudryk as well. Mudryk is a shot and crosses are really weak. That one get past an EPL goalkeeper. Here's the thing, he's still young. And Veiga himself is still young. And I think they need both do need more game time to become even more polished, especially Mudryk. And I know, believe me, Pochettino is the right man for him, a right manager for him. He knows how to nurture young players. And you can say the more games he plays, the more polished he becomes. So let's just leave it at that. Sarr, Cho, Ampadu, Gallagher, Cucurella, and Lukaku all have suitors. How serious about the suitor of Cucurella? Because that involves paying, you can say, giving him a pay rise, otherwise he's not going to leave Chelsea. Well, let's see. I don't agree with that because we clearly aren't making leeway on Caicedo. Time is being wasted. That is just your opinion, and you have every right not to agree with me or anybody else in the chat, but I think we're making progress. And I've known the new owners to there's a pattern to how they behave. If you drag it too much, they pull out. And I'm learning that they have conversation with you. They're not going to put the initial bid, and then from the conversation they say, okay, this is how much we're going to put, how much our valuation of this player, and this is how much they want from us. Let's go with this. That's what I've learned so far. Mudryk is a vertic winger, and Reece will be hitting those crosses, and Mudryk will be central by the time we get to the final third. But thank you for saying that, Keishan. I think we'll be seeing a lot of that. And Mudryk, let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 76 likes, 24 more likes to get it to 100. We are on fire this morning. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes. Let's make it happen. And if you're a moderator in the chat, keep reminding people to keep dropping the likes on the stream. And remember, I told you we will be reintroducing the evening show, and this time it will last for a while. And hopefully, we get a more willing host. And this time, it's my co-host, who you already know, but because of his education, he hardly has time to join the show. Helgi, I know you know him quite well. They wouldn't just be working on one transfer. Yeah, we said that before. It just wouldn't make sense. But I get it. As Fabrizio Romano has explained, the priority is Mauricio Caicedo. That doesn't mean we're not working on other transfers, if that makes sense. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We need to buy a DM. I'm sure the club knows that. That's Gemma Bosaros. Nice to meet you. And I can't quite say your name, Gem. Is that Gem Bosaros? Please let me know if I pronounced that correctly. I really want to know. Temidayo Oluwa Rokami. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Imagine Colwill with all this noise and arrogance, and then doesn't perform well at Chelsea. Here's the thing. He's looking out for himself, and I haven't seen anything that will lead to me saying he's arrogant. Maybe his preference will be to remain at Brighton, and that's him. That's him. That's his preference. And maybe that's where he feels like he would go. He will not have any competition and play week in, week out. That may well be the case. I don't know, and I'm quite sure you don't know. So I wouldn't go to the extent of calling him arrogant, but you are entitled to your opinion, and I'm entitled to mine. In my opinion, I haven't seen anything that makes me feel like he's arrogant. He's just looking out for himself. Big up everyone. Greetings, Kuchula. Greetings to you too, Temidayo. Happy Sunday to you too, brother. I appreciate you saying that. Have you spoken about Mauricio Caicedo? Nothing new, I know, but maybe something will emerge as the show progresses. And if that happens, rest assured, the moment that happens, I think I have a lot of my bros and friends to hit me up and say, hey, this is a new update on Mauricio Caicedo, and I'll see it on one of my screens too. So I'll keep you up. Be rest assured that if anything new emerges, this will be one of the first places you'd hear it. We need to buy the Lazio midfielder who Kezman is offered to Chelsea. SMS, Savic Milinkovic. What's his first name? Milinkovic Savic. Let me just go with that, MS. He's a good player. I like him. Rumors are we were interested in signing him. Was that 2 transfer windows ago? I just saw, but at the time, rumors were that Lazio also were interested in signing Ruben Loftus-Cheek. You could say, and that would have been a good move for him had he worked out then, because he'd be working on the Mauricio Sarri, who you could say when that's the manager under him. He's played his best games are at Chelsea Football Club. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 20 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make that happen. And pardon me, I have to take a sip of my coffee so I don't lose my voice. All right, thank you so much. Let's see, guys, like and follow the channel, invite your friends in. Let's push the limits to expand this community. We're getting closer and closer. By now, probably let me see if we're there. Yep, we are at 13,005 subscribers. So congratulations to us. We keep growing and no stopping us now. We are a strong force to be reckoned with. Yep, and we work as a unit. Though everybody's opinion matters here. Your voice matters. It's not just about the panelists and the host. So thank you so much for 13,000 subscribers. Let's shoot for 14,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Let's see what else we have here. Seems Lukaku's transfer to Juventus is close, according to Gazzetta dello Sport. Wow. Are you serious? I didn't expect that to happen so soon. But as I said before, I think he's come to the realization that we have authority with regards to where he goes. He's been, you can say, he's been very, very vocal with regards to his preference of going to going back to Inter Milan, and that hasn't helped us. Even at that, I think we've decided, you know what, we have to show that we have authority to what with regards to what club he joins. But I hope that's the case. But thank you for saying that update right there. Chelsea best team. Sikiwa James, I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. What else do we have here? I don't think negotiations with a team like Brighton can bear any fruits, especially when it comes to Mauricio Caicedo. It's like the boy wants to leave the club, but the club isn't ready to let him go. I think that is just your opinion. I think their valuation of the price may well be the issue, but I think they will find an agreement. They will come to an agreement with Chelsea and end up selling him to us. And plus, we're the only club actually really pushing to sign him right now. But let's see what happens. Coachella, we should just pay what Brighton wants. We are wasting our time. I don't think we do that, Marilla. Kevin, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Updates on updates on Adebayo Balogun is saying updates on Abu ZS. Okay, you're talking about Alba. Updates on Alba, ZS Impossible, and Mbappe hijack. I don't see us pushing to sign Mbappe. That would be too expensive, and I think probably close to joining Real Madrid by now. But thank you, Adebayo. I appreciate you. Ever since I joined, subs went up so quick. Congrats, coach. 13,000 subs to all of us. Congratulations to all of us. We operate as a unit. Listen, it's simple here. Your voice matters here. It's not about the panelists. It's not about the host. It's about us. Your opinion matters. As long as you keep it aligned, we hear you whenever we can. Some fans are saying Colwill is going to be the next Terry. I don't think so. Great players will be humble and will be ready to learn from others. Colwill, I think he has everything at 21. Here's the thing, we're just jumping to conclusion. I think we're judging him unfairly. He's a good player, and he knows he's good. And then there aren't shortage of clubs you can say willing to sign him if Chelsea are ready to sell. But here's the thing, I think subconsciously we're judging him based on, I don't know if again, but I think, let me just say it, subconsciously we're judging him, judging his character based on how many clubs that are interested in signing him. Liverpool are one of those clubs, and Brighton one of those clubs, Man City one of those clubs. And I don't think the kid has done anything wrong, honestly. He's looking out for himself. He wants what's best for himself. It's just, I don't know, but you're entitled to your opinion. Happy Sunday to you too, Aja Onyedikachi. I appreciate you joining. I think we'll sell him. He most likely leave. If he stays, I'd be shocked. Chelsea should just pay what Brighton want for Caicedo. They paid for Enzo. Why are they reluctant to pay for Caicedo? He's good. Even for Enzo, we didn't just pay them what pay Benfica what they wanted. We took a time, we negotiated. At one time, we pulled out, and then we went back again. So and we have to stop paying premium for players one way or the other. And the owners, they're doing their best. And if you look at other players we've signed, if you paid attention, how much we end up paying for each of those players, you see actually we're paying a lot less than the media are telling people that we're paying, if that makes sense. So I like what the owners are doing. If Lukaku goes to Juve, I can see something happening with Vlahovic, most likely. And you could argue we'll have a good relationship with Juventus. They've signed Colombian international from us, and we got this guy from them. What's his name? The Swiss international. I think you could argue we have a good relationship with them. Hi, Katsila. I think Hamid, nice to see you, Hamid. I hope you're doing well. Let me try and pronounce your first name here. Khalid Abdulhamid Hamid. Thank you. I like your name. Rhymes everywhere. Hi, Katsila. I think Pochettino should have a man-to-man talk with Colwill if he wants us to go. If he wants us, or if he wants to go, because nobody is bigger than Chelsea. I think we have something lined up with regards to that. I think he's planned to have a conversation with him. Lukaku, let's see. I think he's going to leave. Calm down, Nemaya. But Nemaya, more importantly, I hope you're doing well. Big up to you too, brother. Breaking news, Caicedo turned his lights on his house. Don't do that to me. And I saw breaking news before reading the rest of what you have to say there. I was saying, okay, what good news is he bringing to us? Sorry if you spoke about these already, but that Colwill Mudryk video, that's hard. Colwill seemed like he doesn't want to come back. I think I feel the same too, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't say that. That's just us. You can say jump into conclusions based on his facial expression and things he's said. I've done that myself, but you can't rule that out. He still has about 2 years left on his contract, and we can get him to put pen to paper for a new contract. But he wants to be guaranteed that he gets to play and not sit on the bench, and I don't blame him for that. What I read is that Brighton won 80 million plus 20 million. That's in total in add-ons, into making it 100 million. Chelsea not prepared to pay those add-ons, and then they're talking. I think they will find an agreement. Leave Captain Colwill alone. Oh my gosh, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 17 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make it work, people. We're getting there, closer and closer, and you people are absolute legends. We've been doing well. Hi there, Coach. Have a great weekend. You too, Rido. Always nice to see you, Rido. I hope you're doing well. I really like Poch's press conference about players who wants to fight for Chelsea quite a lot. I think he's been saying the right things. Man, I'm moved, really. Walter Morega says, what is Chelsea still waiting for? Should sign Caicedo, Vegas, and terminate Aubameyang's contract. Sell Lukaku. It's not that simple. If let's say the owners, if they've been basing their judgment based on what the fans want or what the fans think, then they would have sold Mason Mount for less and sold Kai for less. But I honestly, I've seen enough to know that they know what they're doing, so I'm not going to push them. I'm patient, and more importantly, the transfer window is still a long way. Nakachila, we're not judging him unfairly. Okay, and I would advise you to speak for yourself. We can see his antics in plain view. He's a good player, but he has to humble himself. Okay, if that's what you want to take and run with, that's you, and I'm fine by that. To be honest, I love the way Chelsea are approaching this Caicedo matter with Brighton. As long as there are no competition yet, I can sense some dubious tendencies from Brighton. We need to augment the tone. Here's the thing, as I've said before, how we've operated, things we've done this window. Honestly, from the way I see it, I'm confident. Things I've seen, the players we've sold, and the income is also. I think we've been very strategic. And my fear was that we were going to start selling players for cheap, and then buying clubs who sense that we're desperate, we're really desperate to sell players, and then they will start pricing the players for penny and all that. But we've done well, and I like that. So I trust them. I'm not panicking, and I'm not concerned really. I think again, he's made his decision about Chelsea have made a decision about Lukaku, and he knew that Lukaku wouldn't come back, so he just uses a good word to stabilize the press. You could argue that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes still go a long way, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. 15 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make it happen, people, and shoot for 200 and 300 likes. Let's see what else we have lined up here. We've talked about a few things here. We have talked about Matheus Franca. We talked about Romelu Lukaku, and we talked about what's his name again? Malang Sarr. Let's see. Smash the like button, people. If you have not, also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We are at 84, like 16 more to get it to 100. And thank you for 13,006 subscribers. We keep growing. Let's see what else we have lined up here. I'll knock it out in a bit. And let's see anything new. The Undertaker CFC. Undertaker comes in every day and he says one thing and it's gone. But big up to you, Undertaker CFC. He said Chelsea should pay the 100 million or walk away. Okay, let's see what the club does. But I think you told us the other day the deal is done already or close to be done. But more importantly, nice to see you, Undertaker. Who would you like, Coach, between Vlahovic and Martinez? I I prefer Vlahovic. He's the more physical of the two. You could say he's the more, from what I've seen, what I know about him, I think he will be more he will adapt to the Premier League better than Martinez will. But that's just my opinion. And plus, I think, Vlahovic overall for me. Contracts take time when lawyers, agents, FFP, image rights, revenue bonuses, inclusions, exclusions, or paperwork for FIFA and etc. So it's not that straightforward. Yeah, I agree with you. But thank you for saying that, Constantine Dante. Sincerely do appreciate that. Let's see what else we have lined up here. This is how much we've made from player sales so far. We sold Edouard Mendy for £16 million, Khalid Koulibaly for £21 million, Matteo Kovacic for 25 plus 5 million add-ons. I think this is a good sale actually, because we paid something not you can say north of that, 10 million north of that for him, and he served us well. So that's not a bad price. Kai Havertz, that's the most shocking for me. £60 million plus £5 million, that's 65 million in total. That's nearly how much we paid for him. So we made quite a lot. Mason Mount, 55 million pounds plus 5 in add-ons. That's 16 million pounds. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, 13.7. Plus this is around, you could say 18 million pounds in total. No. 16, 17, around 17 point something million pounds in total. Pulisic, 17 million pounds in total, plus in total plus that's 18.8, because that's 1.8 million pounds in add-ins. That's not easy. I think we've been brilliant actually, and I'm happy the way we handle the Manchester United pursuit of Mason Mount and Arsenal's pursuit of Kai Havertz. Brilliant piece of business for us. In total, 207.7 million guaranteed fees, and then 227.9 million with potential add-ons or if achieved. Bakayoko, Baba Rahman, Cesar Spilicueta, and N'Golo Kante all gone. Those ones were not able to get anything from them, but honestly, we've done quite well in this transfer window. So excellent, and I trust them, honestly. I was really concerned, but they handled it so well. They didn't show any sign of desperation. I'm happy from how much we've made from player sales, which means I think we can spend quite a lot and still be fine. But let's see what the club does, especially large contracts. Yeah, thank you so much for saying that. And we heard that we're offering him an 8-year contract. I think that was reported a day or two. Especially large contracts, so that's very correct. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. 13 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make it happen, people. We're getting closer and closer to that. This says, guys, we're a few more efforts away from the target. Like and follow and subscribe to the channel and invite people. God bless you all. Thank you for saying that. God bless you all of you. Just 13 more to get it to 100, but we're shooting for 300 likes. I agree. I rarely seen Martinez playing as a lone striker. He's more of a creator than a striker for me. So I'd prefer I'd say we go for Dusan Vlahovic. You can argue Lautaro Martinez doesn't differ that much from Nkunku and Jackson. So why sign him? It wouldn't make any sort of sense. After Caicedo, we need at least 4 more players. If Gallagher, Ampaducho, Lukaku, Oba, and Kepa especially leaves, that's the truth. Well, otherwise we'll be so thin. Saran Vikrajit Saran says, hello everyone, how are you all? Coach, dealing with Brighton at this point is useless, and I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. They are waiting for all the beats from United, etc. CFC should be looking at plan B and hope it's not only Lavia. I hope it's not Lavia, because we need more than just Lavia. Here's the thing. The truth remains, I think we have plan A, B, C, D, actually to E, if you ask me. If we don't, then we'll plain right is stupid. But let's see what the club does. I don't think Caicedo is the only player on Chelsea's list. I saw some news this afternoon about Spurs they are interested in signing Marco Correa, then if we're hell bent on keeping Ian Maatsen, then that's the opportunity. If they will pay out, but I don't think we'll sell him for anything less than we paid for him, given that this is just a year after we signed him, or not even up to a year. If I don't know, I haven't done the calculation. For me, Pulisic's fee is surprising still. Young U.S. captain in the market, the U.S. market, he would bring just that much in endorsement sales. So what club he is at need to get more. Here's the thing, getting more would have been difficult. He has just about a year or less than a year left on his contract, so it would have been a risk if we failed to sell him this window and he refuses to put pen to paper for a new contract, then we're doomed. Then he gets to leave as a free agent. So we don't want to risk that. You can argue that if he had about 2 years left on his contract, I don't think the new owners will sell him. Todd Bowley, being an American, would be well acquainted of the size of the American market and would have loved to have, you could say, a Christian Pulisic, so we have access to that market, if that makes sense. Coach, we will get another 150 million from Lukaku, Alba, Ziyech, and Gallagher. Very possible if we can see the buyers. And Chilwell to likely. I don't think we're selling Chilwell from what I've seen so far. If you only get the sales done and do and not the purchases, then there's nothing to celebrate for me. I needed to see more. These players, you can say all of them would have been a risk leaving them, except for Mendy. Mendy has more on his current contract. Khalid Koulibaly has more, but he's not any younger. Kovacic, he has just about a year left on his contract. Correct me if I'm wrong. Kai Havertz has about 2 years left on his contract. So I think we're actually dealing with the risks. That's how I see it. It shows Ampadu, Alba, Lukaku, Kepa, Gallagher all leave. How many players are we left with? I'm not sure. I haven't done the calculation. I think Dybala would be a great addition personally, but given our luck, I don't see it happening. It may well happen. Rumors are that we've actually established a contact with his agent, and he's agreed to take a pay cut to join us. But those are just rumors. No, there's no way to confirm those reports. Yeah, he says. You mod Chelsea all the way up. Nightbot is a machine. So if you use more than 3 emojis, automatically it would delete your message. Why Sorensen at Chelsea? His experience, and I don't think we'll be pushing to signing him because we lack experience. From what I'm hearing, I think he stays. Even Mauricio Pochettino asking Chelsea fans to support him. I think we've decided to keep him given his experience because, yeah, we lack experience in this team. Prene Sunday says that people in US don't watch AC Milan. I do watch AC Milan because I followed AC Milan from the days of Carlo Ancelotti, Kaká, those players. Then those players I loved got me following AC Milan. I still follow them. I still watch some Italian teams. I watch Napoli because of Victor Osimhen. There are other teams also I like to watch whenever they're playing. I cannot stand, especially their fans. As long as they're not abusing anybody, please leave them. Chelsea all the way. Do you get times out a lot? Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. 5 more to get it to 100. Let's get it there and shoot for more. Honestly, now that I know the club want to make a buffer choice, no, those are just rumors. We're pushing. Rumors are that we're pushing to sign Diogo Costa, and I'm quite sure we're not signing him to be the second choice, but the first choice. Maybe we should have kept Mendy. Mendy wanted to leave. It's as simple as that. Dybala or Turkey, choose one, Kuchila. We lack experience right now, but I still go with Turkey because we can get experience in all the departments on the pitch, but I take Turkey. But if we can't get Turkey, Dybala won't be a bad addition given his experience and how much the clause is. The buyout clause is £10 million or something north of that. Are we really selling Chilwell? No, we're not. It's just somebody's opinion in the chat. I keep dropping the likes on the stream. Chelsea will have an under-21 team in the States. It seems, I'm not too sure. I haven't seen anything. But Thomas Bays, I hope you're doing well. Pochettino mentioned Dele Alli. What's going on, coach? Mention him in what regard? I didn't see that. US fans will watch if Pulisic is there. Yep, it's business. Yep, he will draw them. Lots of them will start. You be rest assured, some of them actually will stop supporting Chelsea and start supporting AC Milan. If that makes sense to you. Kishan, thank you for saying that. People take the LeBron James of soccer too literally. Pulisic won't bring us any good endorsement. I think he will, but he's not staying. He would have, again, if he's staying. Yes, but not a lot of Serie A fans right now in the US. Maybe he changes that. Pulisic deal was a decent one, not bad. Hi, you can just having a conversation there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along with. So you follow Napoli because of Osimhen. So you're a big fan because it's. Here's the thing. First of all, I was Nigerian because before I became a US citizen. You can say, yeah, I'm still Nigerian. I still identify as a Nigerian American. If that makes sense to you. And Osimhen, I watched him during the Under-17, and I like him. I'm not, but even before that, I liked Napoli because of just they're one of the best teams in Italy, especially under Mauricio Sarri. Yeah, so I started following him before Osimhen, but I watched them even more now because of Osimhen, if that makes sense. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. Say hello to Brazil. Hello to you too, Santos. I appreciate you finding the time to join us from Brazil. Big up to you. We need to sign Caicedo before the trip to the US. We're not going to overpay because we want him to be part of the trip to the US. That would be just plain right. It wouldn't make any sort of sense to do that. Remembering the late Gianluca Vialli, he would have been 60 today, or how old today? But thank you for saying that. He would have been, 59 today. A Chelsea legend, never forgotten. May his soul continue to rest in peace. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. As I did hear JJ, na hot coffee I need from Kuchila. They could not help me. Beg coach, I beg. I don't know how I could take it on to you, but me, but I don't want to say what you got for say. Make you control your long throat now, since you speak pigeon. But about that, the joke aside, I wish I could share with you, brother. But that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. But for me, Cavani era was the best Napoli. I think he was good for them. And I remember he scored against us the year we won the Champions League. Did he score against us? Was it at home or at Stamford Bridge? Or was it the Swiss international that scored against a goal against us at Stamford? I don't remember. But Cavani, he was good for them. Was best. Cavani era was the best Napoli that I've ever seen. Lavezzi, Ezekiel Lavezzi, Cavani, Hamsik, yep, was so good. Hamsik, where's he from? Hamsik scored against us at Stamford Bridge. And Chelsea did the comeback against them. I think Hamsik, he did score at Stamford Bridge. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Poch should take inspiration from the Brighton setup last season, since Caicedo was shining it. And Enzo is already a baller. He will adapt. The rest can practice sharp. You could say that's a good suggestion there, but let's see what the manager does. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. One more like to get it to 100. Let's make it happen, and then we push for more likes. We're shooting for 300. Remember, imagine Kachina took digs at me. My long throat cannot work for Batman or Osimhen. Shouldn't it work for a cup of coffee? It should. But much love to you, Tamida. I appreciate you saying that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Yep, we've made it 100 likes. Let's shoot for 200 now. And shoot for 300 if you can. Big up everyone. Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you for saying that, Martin. Oh, I appreciate you. Morning, coach. Morning to you, to Santiago Muno, my bro. I appreciate you. And Santiago Muno, I just want to say thank you to you. I've noticed that when people ask questions in the chat, even before I get to those questions, you usually answer those questions. And much love to you. I appreciate that. That does go a long way. So it helps for me to just move on to the next topic and say, okay, here's the answer to that question there. Coach, Coach, one step at a time. 100 likes first, and then 200. Not straight. Did I say straight to 300? But we've achieved 100. Now we're going up for 200. I think we shoot for 300. So you're very correct. I appreciate that. Let's see what else we have here. Next item we have lined up. Let's look at it. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. I appreciate you all. Let's see. I think we're getting into Mauricio Pochettino's press conference. Bits and pieces of it. You can say highlights of it. The most important aspect of what he said on the day. I think this man. I don't know if that's the correct term to say he's a good orator. Maybe let me say use. You can say a good speaker. Honestly, good communicator maybe. Dominic Maximilian Eneche. Afternoon, Coach. How is your throat? It's better, but not 100%. I just have to be careful. But you can say I'm more. Should I say audible right now? You always say after we get 100, we then need to get 300. So you're telling me, you're shaming me in public, saying I can't count. I don't like you anymore, Constantin Dante. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. 101. Okay, let me be careful now. Let's shoot for 200 and then go for 300. So let's talk about this man here who said quite a lot. And he's been saying the right stuff, honestly. But beyond that, I want to see action, like a lot of people say. Pochettino said he will call Ali to advise him nothing to do with playing for Chelsea. Like I said, I didn't hear anything close to him getting Ali for us. I don't think he'd actually think about that. But thank you for saying that, Chelsea, all the way. This one here says, Mauricio Pochettino, I don't want to make excuses to the players to say, first of all, we need time to rebuild. We need time to walk. We need no excuses. I like this man, honestly. And then he says we start to work hard to manage and drive the way that we want. No excuses. That is, you can say, the highlight for me. Everything he said since he's joined us, this is the highlight. Why do I say that? Because throughout last season, I've been arguing. I get it. We may not be the best team. We might not have been the best team in the country, in England at the point, but we should be doing better than we were doing at the point. And a lot of people were making excuses saying we don't have player A, B, C, D. It's the player. No, I get it. We should have done better than we did this past season. But I get it. It's not just down to the man. The players also, you can say we have to blame them to a certain measure. The managers also takes some blame. And the club's hierarchy also should take some blame too. But I like this man saying no excuses. No excuses, no excuses, no. We need no excuses. We start working hard to manage and drive the way that we want. No excuses. I love that. It's as simple as that. That is belief. But let's not, because of he said this, not sign him the players he wants. But that makes me happy, honestly. Let's see what else we have here. Big up to everyone in the chat. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. We're at 102 likes. Remember, we're shooting for 200 likes and we'll go for 300. Hello, please. We are keeping too long to get Caicedo, the governor, but we shouldn't pay them what they want because we want him. But we may end up paying something close to what people are saying we will pay, but that depends on how much we want Caicedo, or maybe if we really do not have other alternatives. But look at what we have on the screen right now. Let's keep it to that. What do you make of it? No excuses, but we lost our minerals general. Do you want to blame him for us losing that player person that you're mentioning? No, I wouldn't blame him. The players camp in the club had series of conversations or negotiations and still were not able to come to an agreement. It's as simple as that. And the parties have gone their separate ways. I want to leave it at that. God of Frogs, more importantly, nice to see you. Hello, everyone. Coach Poch is taking shackles off. That is, I liked most of his stance. That only players who want to play for CFC will stay. The rest can go. Did you watch Kowe's Instagram post? I watched that with Nani Mudryk, and we'll get to that in a bit. I don't know if I have it open in the window. Honestly, I'm surprised how well Poch speaks. Yep. So let me go by what you're saying. You said that he's a good speaker. Most fans were resigned to making these a long-term fix, but he seems to have a Chelsea drive to win. Yep, he said something to the effect of, this is Chelsea. There's no long-term fix. You need to start winning immediately, otherwise it's not good enough. But talk is cheap, and we'll need players. Yeah, we need to sign in the players that will help him do well again. But you could say the aura alone, it can moves me. Yeah, yo, bro, you too, Sherry. Nice to see you, Sherry. I hope you're doing well. And if it was a typical Chelsea team, yes, maybe. But with all new players and nearly all under 21, Poch, relax. That is just your opinion. But we know the man likes to work with young players because of his high-octane approach to football. I think these players would do well for him. And I've seen some comments from him that shows he actually knows some of these players, if that makes sense. Let's see. Hi, just saying hello to Jesse there. But Jesse, more importantly, I hope you're doing well. We need at least one powerful central defender to kick the season started strongly, and that's Imaiku Pius Imaiku. Yeah, that's Imaiku. I think I got that one correctly. Nice to see you, Pius. With one game a week, I expect to beat every team out of the top 6. We could. I get it, and that's the truth in the sense that without European assignments and distractions, if you prefer, he'd have enough time to drill the team to start playing how he wants them to play, and that will go a long way. Playing time should never be a bargain chip, as goes with contract, 8-year contract, Claire. That ping pong tussle between contract extension and playing time. Here's the thing: no player has the right to come. You can say to ask that. If you feel like you're good enough, yeah, come. Prove that you're the better player than the competing player, and then you get to start. Poch getting us into top 6 will be seen as a big achievement due to the mess these owners are and prior managers made. You could argue that, but he's a capable manager. So yeah, but big up to you, Ghana Frogs. Watching you from Ghana. Big up to you too, Michael Arthur. I appreciate you for joining us. Yes, the midfield signings need to be PMB. Okay, let's see. Lukaku has agreed to join Juventus in a blockbuster exchange deal with Chelsea, according to Corriere dello Sport via Juventus News 24. He will earn 8 million a year. Oh, wow. I'm shocked. I am seriously shocked. Okay. Okay, let that happen. If that happens, which means we're most likely getting Vlahovic, because I don't think Juventus would sign him if they are not if they don't feel like they're losing if they don't feel like they're losing Vlahovic. But let's see what happens. I take that. And thank you, people, for 13,010 subscribers. We're growing really, really fast. Cannot thank you guys enough. I do hope John Terry will clear out the academy and put kids in correct frame of mind. The way they have been going about contract is a disgrace. Colwill, another one with no gratitude to the academy. You guys have really jumped into conclusions with regards to the Colwill case, but well, you were all entitled to our opinions, and everybody's voice matter. That's why we're Chelsea perspective. Lukaku and Juventus have agreed personal terms, a 3-year deal worth 8 million euros per year. The striker is open to moving to Turin. Wow. Okay, let's see if he goes there or to Saudi Arabia. Okay, Santiago, thanks, big man. Let's see what else we have here. Personal terms agreed, but not terms with Chelsea. Coach, I also like Poch's answer when asked his opinion on owners visiting locker room. Man, we need to support Poch and Terry as long as Poch keeps Bolly handcuffed. Just go away. Much love to you. You had to. Is that your new ID now? The handcuff? Yeah, and Juve will come off 15 million for him. Let's see what happens. I don't think Chelsea will take 15 million. Coach, what would your strongest EPL 11 team look like? I think I have a YouTube shot. I think you'll see it. But let me highlight that. If we have time enough, I'll talk about that. Paying in installments over 5 years, yeah, like Inter wanted, over 20 years maybe. Reports Chelsea favors the signing of Turkey over Veiga, as Turkey wants to follow Malo Gusto to Chelsea. Wow. Okay, let's make it happen. We have an exciting project, no matter what a lot of people say. Juve is the second poorest team after Barca, so I will believe it when I see Fabrizio confirm it. But big up to all of you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. And if you haven't, please do subscribe to the channel. We just hit the 13,000 subscribers today. Let's shoot for 14 and up. We have 105 likes. Let's get it to 200 and shoot for 300 likes. We can do that, but only if you keep dropping the likes on the stream. Let's see. Tamidaya here says, hope they paid 14 million or more, and I hope that sort of paves the way for Vlahovic to join Chelsea. Maybe, but I'm not too sure really, because I don't see. It wouldn't make sense for them to sign Lukaku if Vlahovic is staying. We should be charging more than 100 million to Brighton for Colwill if they want him. Yeah, say 150 million. Since they want us to pay premium, we'll get them to pay premium for our own player that they want. Pius Emilku says, is JT a part of Poch's? No. He academy. Just hearing this, the academy. He's one of the academy coaches. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're well acquainted with his appointment than I do, please do help me in the chat. Matheus Franca is excited about the prospect of joining Chelsea, according to Romano. Yeah, I've read that. We had that on the screen. It's Italy. People, they start lowest. We are with the lowest offer possible. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, and if you're not following us on Twitter, please do follow us on Twitter. Twitter now has a Twitter community, and we have started a Chelsea Perspective community there, where you can come, start a topic, have a conversation with our other community members. Let's see what else we have here. I think the next one will be for Pochettino talk to. Here's Pochettino speaking about what's his name? Mihailo Mudryk. Pochettino reveals planned meeting before preseason with Mihailo Mudryk. I am going to meet him before he comes to preseason. I really like to see and to know him, and then to design the best strategy to help him to be at the best level that Chelsea expect. That's why I think you can say one of the reasons why we signed Pochettino is his ability to nurture young players. And from these statements, I think he has, you can say he knows that the players differ. He doesn't just bulk them up and start to train them all together. Again, I get it, we still train as a unit, but he has a different program for each of the players. He has a different plan for each of the players given the way they play. Pay attention to this. He says, I really like to see and to know him, and then to design the best strategy to help him to be at the best level that Chelsea expect. Which means, again, he's not into one size fits all approach in terms of helping players improve. He knows that they are individuals and knows that they are apply themselves differently on the pitch. So he has a program tailored for each of the players, and that makes me happy. I read this over 10 times yesterday, and he's a very intelligent manager. Do you agree with Chelsea manager Mauricio Pochettino when he said it was important that Enzo Fernandez took time to rest? Yeah, I do agree, and we've said that. I think it was I and Roger. We started arguing towards the end of last season that that actually we overplayed him already. He needs to every now and then, you can say, take a break for someone else to come in. We need to rotate him with someone else. Otherwise, you'd burn him out. He's a human being. He's not a machine. If that makes sense. Terry is the right person to teach academy millennials the Chelsea mentality, if that makes sense, and that the world owes them nothing. You have to earn it. Thank you so much. That's one of the first delicious comments of the day. I hope we get Caicedo for 80 million to make our midfield stronger. I think Enzo and Caicedo can make the best. Please, let's keep the comments aligned right now. Otherwise, it can be exhausting. You can have conversation with anybody you want, but if I see you having a conversation, I'll skip it. Coachella refuses to share his coffee with me and called me long truth. Yeah, you know how we say it in Niger? Not even long truth, it's longer truth. Can you imagine that? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I hope Poch mentions JT in mentors, so to speak, into an elite manager, but he's not working under him. But do I think there's a chance he'd be learning from him? I really do not know the possibility, since JT will be working with the academy. Who would take over from him in the future? I don't think so. JT would have absolute power like Zizou had at Madrid as a coach. Huge egos wouldn't exist in front of him. Because he's been there, seen that, done that. You can okay, let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. And if you're watching, Martin timed somebody out by mistake, Pius. And I think we had somebody who did a phone timeout before. I haven't seen him in a while, actually. We need to sign midfielders as soon as possible. Signing only Caicedo, we shall finish number 15th on the table. Isaac Nwangi, thank you for joining. And just quickly, people, if you're watching, please take a second, tell us where you're following us from. We'd really appreciate that if you can do that. Chelsea are the way. Sports wants Kukurea, and Chelsea are willing to sell according to football transfers. Okay, let's see if that happens. Pius, if you're watching, Martin, he's apologized. He timed you out by mistake. That happens every now and then. Strange how all that happened in my pocket. Yep, we've heard that happen before. So don't worry too much. I hope Pius is listening and he, again, realize that it was a mistake. You didn't do that intentionally. Mudryk and Mudryk have a lot of weight on their shoulders this year. I think and Thomas Bates, by the way, nice to see you. I think Pochettino will handle that effectively. He's experienced enough. I think Sterling should start the season on the left. It's up to the manager, but let's see. But coach, is Colwill body language not clear enough? We don't know him. I'm not a body language expert by any stretch of imagination. But I'm basing my judgment based on his comments during interviews, and Brighton coming with a beat. I'm basing my judgment based on those. But for the body language, no, it can be misleading at times, if you know. But yeah, if that was an untalented player, we'll all be in agreement. Maybe, but not me. Honestly, I like to be as objective as possible. We need to buy Ronaldo, Messi, and Neymar, Lewandowski, goalkeeper, and CM. Wow. King Dominator, you want to add more to that? You go ahead. I am watching from Abuja, Nigeria. ABJ, I used to live in Mararaba, Karu area too. But that's, by the way, my Abuja brother. Thank you for saying where you're watching from. I appreciate you saying that. He doesn't engage with us online. No association or interaction. He was alone at Brighton, for Christ's sake, with any Chelsea. The interview, contract stands, and then the IG video. Don't worry about it. Honestly, I'm not worried too much. He still has about 2 years left on his contract, so we'll figure that out. I'm sure if the club sense that he probably prefers to remain at Brighton, I think they'd sell him. Right now, that his value is still up, because the moment he has just about a year left on his contract, his valuation goes, his market value will go down. Sterling should definitely start at left side, but he's played on the right hand side. He played on the right hand side on the Porter, and on those occasions he actually did better. But let's see what the manager does. Every evidence indicates some that may get worse with time, but let's see what happens. We needed to get the Caicedo deal done. We get that done in a bit. Turkey wanted to join with Malo Gusto at Chelsea via team talk. I didn't know that. If he likes us that much, let's get him in. And let's get him in. Maybe he's a player capable of, or you can say, what we used to have with Eden Hazard when the Chiefs are down, he can help us pull a rabbit out of the hat and help us win games. He's good. Watching him from Kenya, I appreciate your good work, brother. Thank you so much, brother. Isaac Mwangi, I appreciate you taking the time to say that. My Kenyan bro. People close to him often say he doesn't want to be here. That's fine, but he shouldn't pretend otherwise because he's talented. Well, okay, let's see what happens. Left side out, coach. You didn't get it. Okay, thank you. You like to shame me in public, don't you? Hillary Steven says, we really need to go for Turkey. Given the reports, I would suggest let's go for him, really. He's a good player. Colwill is good, but he has not matured to a level of someone like Ferdinand or Vidic. If in his mind he's already that level, then he has a problem. We will be better off getting rid of him. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that comment there. Hopefully that's not the case. Debayo Balogun says, Poch on Levi, he's a CFC player, and in the last few months at Brighton, he was playing really well. He's one of our players, and I need to talk with him when he arrives next week. What will you be saying to him, coach? His thing, I think I've said something to that effect before. I'll tell him, look, this is Chelsea Football Club. There's no way you'd be the only player playing in your position. You always have a competition. And there are two of you. We have Badiashile and you. And again, if you prove to be the better of the two players, then you'll be starting ahead of him. And also, you cannot play every game. You're a human being. If we play you in every game, you'd burn out and probably get injured, and we don't want that to happen. So we will rotate you, and if you prove to me that you're the better player of the two of you, then you'll be starting ahead of Badiashile. To me, that conversation wouldn't go beyond that. I think the most that Pochettino will add to it is that we like you, we value you, we want you to stay. It's as simple as that. There's no way they guarantee him a starting place. He has to earn it. It's as simple as that. To me, it looks more a case of Colwill being scared of Badiashile. He's not confident that he can be better than Badiashile. That's actually a solid argument. And plus, he knows we paid 35 million plus for him. And for him, we didn't pay anything for him. He's an academy product. So he may well be looking at it and going, that's a chance we value Badiashile more than him. Yes, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with 116 likes. Let's get it to 200 and shoot for 300. And for those of you that are watching, but for one reason or the other, not able to participate in the chat, we appreciate you because you provide a great value to the community. But if you can do us a favor, take a second to drop a like on the stream. We'd really appreciate that. And please give me a second. Let me take a sip of my coffee before I lose my voice. And just 1 second, please. Yeah, because I cough, every now and then I do go off camera to take care of business before I come back. And if you want to become a member, that helps us sponsor student every month, and the channel benefits from it. But so far, what we've earned from the membership hasn't come close to how much we spent on the Stay in School project. We spent a total of $200 or $100 for the first one, $50 each for the second and third one. But yeah, we can still do that even without the membership. But with the membership, it makes it easier. 3107 DB says Colwill is a top player, and I cannot wait for next season. Hopefully, he extends, because if he refuses to put pen to paper for a new contract, the club will not hesitate to sell him. It's as simple as that. To me, guys, please follow and subscribe to this channel. We need you to also invite friends and family as well. We move this community forward. One champagne for each person. And please, if you haven't, go follow us on Twitter, follow us on Threads, and follow us on Instagram. Well, we have presence there too. Chelsea are ready to spend $129 million for Caicedo. and Lavia, according to, I don't know who that is. Do you trust that source? If Marcos Alonso won a lot for us, behaved like Colwill, everyone would be on his neck. But yeah, since Colwill is from Cobham, everyone like Coach let's go back and Nini are making excuses for him. Oh no, 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 no. I'm not like Nini. I'm not like Alex Goldback. And those of you who are mentioning, I'll add one more name, Minerals FC. I don't have anything against them, but I don't follow players religiously. I follow you and I try to be as objective as possible. I'm one of the people that started arguing. Probably it looks like Levi Colwill wants to leave the club, given the fact that Brighton did come with a bid for him, and recognizing the fact that they will not do that except if Levi Colwill okays it. And given what he said during an interview where he forgot that he plays for Chelsea, and where he said something to the effect of that he likes to pay people back. That Brighton gave him an opportunity when nobody did, and that nobody to me, you can say, represents Chelsea in that particular conversation. He likes to pay people back when they do such for him. That was when I said it doesn't sound like this guy wants to come back. I'm just refusing to join the argument that he's arrogant because he is fighting for what he believes is right for him. That's the aspect I don't want to take my argument to. I don't follow players that much, and I'm not like Alex Goldback on Nini FC. I like Nini for his content. He's a good content creator, but I don't like sometimes his stand, how he sometimes argues, presents his arguments with regards to the future of young talents. So please don't accuse me for that. But that's, by the way, and I don't know, have I said hello to you, Tiba Salifa? If I've not, big up to you. Colwill would need a therapy if he went to Man City. In what sense, I don't know. But Schiller is a beast. Colwill is afraid of competition. That is just your opinion. But Isaac, you have every right to your opinion. And believe me, that's how we operate here. Your voice matters. Let's see what else we have here. Let's stop assuming what Levi Colwill wants to discuss with Poch. Exactly. That is the same thing as assuming that he's arrogant. When here's the thing, first of all, it's business for all parties involved. He wants to be playing, and there's no way, I don't believe that he's asking to be playing to become a starter. No, he knows that's not possible. Even at Brighton, has he always been a starter for them? No, it's not. If that makes sense. I get it, he's good, but people are just, you can say, making up stuff and jumping to the conclusion that he's arrogant and all that, his behavior. No, but we'll move on. Let's not pretend that he isn't aware of Dacho Fofana and how he wasn't given a chance. It's not about guaranteed start. It's about the chance. Thank you. I like how you ended it, but some Jovi, how you brought in that Dacho Fofana into that conversation is very creative, and I like that. When he reaches that level, we can talk. And there are thousands of kids, and everyone wants to reach that level. What makes you think they are guaranteed to reach that? There's no way to tell at this point. But let's see. But he's a good player. Juve wants at least 80 million for Vlahovic, according to report. I will go for Mitrovic. But Mitrovic is older. Mitrovic will just be, you could say, a stopgap until we're ready to sign a top striker. Rain, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. The way things are currently going at Chelsea, it's not abnormal for players to be wary of their position and chance at the club. Seeing how massive Clarout is going, yeah, it's nothing abnormal there. He must given them the green light for that Brighton bid. Oh yeah, it does. We don't need a scientist to say that's the case. Nani saying that means he already knows he doesn't want to come back privately. You can argue that. I think that makes sense. Nani must have maybe based on his statement, you could say his statement stems from what he's read in the public, but we're not too sure. Or maybe his you can say because they talk, they were in the same camp for the England England under 21 European competition. They must have had a conversation. Maybe they've had a conversation, and he's learning that he's a bit reluctant to come back on his guaranteed game time. I'm not too sure, but that's we're just speculating right now. You're right on Nini. This is why Eunice is clear and often spot on. Play Colwill as DM, then everything will be solved. Okay. Let's see. He's good. He's a good player, but yeah, he should not allow arrogance to affect him. And how are we coming to that conclusion that he's arrogant? I don't think that's the case. Where did I miss Jerry Z's comments here? Oh no, I intentionally, because I don't like him. But that's by the way, Jerry Z. Always nice to see you, brother. Happy Sunday, everyone. It's that wonderful day of the week. Yep, I appreciate you, Jerry G. Apologies that I skipped your comment. It was a mistake until I saw somebody say hello to you. That was when I knew I missed one of your comments. But that's by the way. Let's see anything else we have to talk about here. Mourinho warned us about players like that. World-class Eagles from one decent season. Good. Kuchila Mitrovic is 28. If I am not mistaken, where is the experience in the squad? Yeah, I think we can get him because of his experience. Plus, he said he would like to play for Chelsea. When he was at the bridge, he came to watch a game. Colwill will be the new Mount Drama, contract rejection, and then sold to Liverpool next summer. I think the club, if they sense it's not going to put pen to paper, they will sell him this particular window, because next season he'd go for less. Ajaoye Dikachiza in Brighton want to buy Colwill 40 million. Maybe 1 year after, they will sell him for 120 million. Possibly. Having Mitrovic with us would be a great move, especially if our game is being officiated by another tailor. Okay. It's okay, Coach often skips my comments. No, but because I don't like you, but I like Jerry Z, but I don't like you, Constantine. What is the latest on Matheus Franca and Dusan Vlahovic transfer? We get to that in a bit. Amechi for França, we're still talking. He's excited to join. He likes our project, but I think they're asking for more than what we're willing to pay. For Vlahovic, nothing new. I'm not too sure, nothing new. But that's, by the way, let me get in. Roger, it's in the house. Roger, hola, gracias, senora. What else? I think I've spoken everything. Let's see if you take it to another angle. But more importantly, Roger, I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you so much. What do you make of the Colwill discussion? A lot of people, I think the discussion, how did we get to him? Mauricio Pochettino, I think he said something about Levi Colwill. But you go ahead, speak about Levi Colwill, because people have spoken about him. And then I want you to read this, what you make of it. To me, it just shows that Pochettino understands that players differ from the perspective of how they apply themselves on the pitch, all their abilities, and he's willing to focus on them independently and help them do well given their abilities. But that's just my opinion. But your thoughts on this comment on the screen. But if you want to start with the Colwill situation, since people in the chat have already dragged us to that angle, you go ahead.
Hello there, sir. Hola. So,
I already said.
Listen, I'm not sure how long I can be on the show today because I'm expecting my cousin to visit, so I apologize if I have to leave abruptly. With regards to Colwill, this is how I'm perceiving this. And you're right, there is a lot of assumptions made. But he is primarily, Colwill is a academy player. And as such, Chelsea have a history of, shall we say, not valuing their academy players. You know, as for instance, if Colwill was not an academy player, we want to buy him from, let's say, Brighton. Let's say he was a Brighton academy player. Then I don't think he may be having this discussion, but because he's looking historically at his forebearers of people that used to play in the academy and just weren't given the chance, even though they were good enough, and have proved they're good enough because they've gone to other teams, either in the same league or overseas, and they proved they're good enough, but were never afforded that luxury. Perhaps there's a certain, not disdain, that's too harsh of a term, but perhaps they're not perceived as an entity with such a value as if they would come from another footballing organization. And I can see where he's coming from in that case. So I think in the back of his mind, I don't look at it as arrogance. Maybe he is. One doesn't know. We don't
know.
No, but if I was him and if I was an academy player, I would have that reservation also. I would say, listen, I'm an academy player, but had I not been, would you be looking at me differently? And the reason why I bring that up is just what I explained, because historically that hasn't been the case. So listen, he could turn out to be a bust and be a horrible player. He could turn out to be a Ballon d'Or player. Obviously, I'm being facetious. But one doesn't know.
No, but you're being factual. At this age, he's still a potential.
Yeah, exactly. You look at Badiashile, you look at Colwill. They are currently right now, if they never improve, they're still very good, adequate Premier League players. However, you know and I know, assuming they remain healthy, obviously, that they have the ability to improve to a very high ceiling level based on what we've seen, based on their age and obviously that position, because that position requires experience. You know, you look at Silva right now. Can you imagine if Badiashile or Colwill had his football IQ, that they with their physicality and prowess, they would be amazing players. So I don't know, you know. I just think it's much to do about nothing as usual. But I can see his concern. I really can.
He's looking at himself. It's business for all parties involved.
Yeah, I don't perceive it as that. Maybe he is, you know. Maybe he's a real, to use a British term, wanker. I don't know. But, you know, one doesn't know. I can see he's looking at his best interests at heart, and that's all that matters.
That's where I start my argument. He's looking out for himself, and I don't want to take my argument to, you can say, to the perspective of how his behavior, or whether he's arrogant or not. No, I don't want to get to that extent. But that's just me.
No, but you have to look at most of the players. Yeah, we've had Mount, and we've had Reece, and we've had John Terry.
There's a reason again. That's a solid argument that may well be his concern. Yeah.
Right, but those have been the exception to the rules, because if you look at the majority of academy players that have come through Chelsea and have not been afforded that transition to the first team, but have gone on to improve and play at a very high level, either overseas or domestically, you know, that the numbers don't point to... Well, they point to his reservations, actually. So that's all I'm trying to say. Now, obviously, you have to back. So there's a good American expression: if you're going to talk the talk, you've got to walk the walk, right? And so obviously, he has to walk the walk. You know. However, I can see his point of view, if that indeed is his point of view, or his reselling.
Yeah, let me catch up with what we have in the chat, and we'll switch to the next item we have lined up. Let's see. Selling Koulibaly should have made Colwill realize that he has a chance to play it, but if he doesn't see that, then get rid of for 18 million, and good luck getting 18 million. Use that money and sign Lukaku and or Antonio Silva. Good luck getting 18 million for Levi Colwill. Coach Roger is here. You know what I mean.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
And the chairman of the goalkeepers union is here. Yeah, I get it. But that's, by the way, it's all love, Roger. I know you know that. Yeah. This is but it's at Chelsea who take care of him and send him on loan.
No. I'm not saying that Chelsea are respecting him or anything like that. I'm just saying that if I was in his shoes, this would be my mindset to a certain extent. You know, so I get it. Listen, all you can do, if I was his advisor, I would say, put your head down, train hard, day in, day out, and you know what? The rest will. Don't worry about things. The rest will come to you. It's that simple. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about playing time. If you are indeed the better player, the coaches will see that. And if not, then you move on. It's that simple. This isn't brain surgery.
Yeah, but if it's Chelsea who I think we've read that one, and Roger have read. Romelu Lukaku has not changed his stance after rejecting Saudi bids in June. he wants to continue in Europe. And rumors are that he's agreed personal terms with Juventus. That's good for us. But at least he's realized that we have authority with regards to where he goes. No matter how many times he said publicly that his preference will be to go back to Inter Milan. Adebayo Balogun and Edward Francis, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Inter and Chelsea will be in contact in the next days as new proposal will be submitted soon. Of course, it had to be improved to convince a CFC. Otherwise, he joins Juventus. Roger cannot stay long, so it's okay.
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch indeed. But that's Constantine Dante, his way of saying hello to you. Lukaku to Juventus, Inter are broke. I think he'll end up joining Juventus. If he doesn't want to stay, sell him to Brighton for 45 million with a 40% selling clause. I think if we're selling him, probably there will be lots of clauses. But let's see what happens. Big up, Roger. How are you? Your interesting foundation to build your argument for academy players. I disagree. Look at Reese. If you are good, you will prove on the pitch and nothing.
Yeah, I think I covered that though, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, but probably you're still speaking when he had that.
Sorry,
good morning, coach, and every member of the community. A lot of people may we're working behind the scenes. He has a YouTube channel, but probably wants to show it to you until everything is ready. I think he'll do that soon. Let's see. Mudryk revealing Colwill was hilarious. He had no clue. Let's see. Hello, Oladipo. Hello to you too. I think you're just saying hello to him. Thomas Pace, thank you for that contribution there. Ziyech hasn't said anything bad so far against Chelsea. All I hear is Ziyech here, Ziyech there. Slendered from a pillar to post. But here's Colwill. We should stop with this. Okay, Akami, stop. I'm sure nobody here slanders Ziyech. And so all we did was analyze the situation and came to the conclusion he most likely will leave. And by the way, all the players who said we're going to leave, I think nearly, you can say all of them have left. When we did the Keeper Sell show, Gallagher was saying he wanted to come back to Chelsea when he was at Crystal Palace. That's the truth. He actually told somebody during an interview, make sure you let them know that his main target is to play for Chelsea Football Club. A lot of people say, sorry, I just joined. Lateness is greatness, bro. So you're always welcome. And we still have a bit of time before we go. Show now. Have you guys discussed Colwill reaction with Nani yesterday after England win? Seems Colwill don't want to play for Chelsea from his body language. That is just an assumption. Like I said, for me personally, but you have every right to present that argument. Me personally, I do not want to, you can say, look at the situation from the perspective of his body language. I've analyzed what he said and the beat from Brighton. What I think that means. Beyond that, there's still a chance he puts pen to paper for a new contract. And we've heard that after the just concluded on the 21 European competition, that will put an offer forward to him. But to me, I saw that myself. He was a bit muted, saying something I think his response was something to the effect of, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit, bro. Beyond that, maybe he didn't like Nani saying that, which to me, I don't look beyond that really, because there's a chance, we don't know. That's just me. I don't know, but maybe if you think that's the case, I don't know what you do for a living. You may well be a body language expert, and I don't know. Someone said Lukaku agreed to join Juve. Now another is saying we need improved offer from Inter. Soon someone will say Coutinho has agreed to captain CFC for next season. It's everywhere. So that's why you're better off waiting until you get an official announcement from the club. And has Chelsea actually haven't announced the patch of Christian Pulisic. But rumors are that we've agreed terms. But let's see. Sky News yesterday said that Juventus held a meeting with Chelsea on Friday to discuss permanent move. Let's see what happens. I think the best thing is to sell Colwill, even if he is played all the time like Mount. He still demand more and more and money. Is that what you think? But let's see what happens. Talvin Tremari, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hi to you too, Talvin. thank you for deciding to join us in the chat today. You're always commenting, but I think this is the first time I've seen you in the chat. Well, 132 likes. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes. Let's get it to 200 and shoot for 300 likes as soon as possible. I appreciate you. Hope you're well too. Chamari, okay, you're saying hello to the bot. As much as Gallagher isn't good enough for Chelsea, you don't see, that is just your opinion. I have to be honest. Do I think he's good enough? I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to let you know there's a good player in him, and he's still very young. There's a chance he becomes one of our best players in the future, especially under Mauricio Pochettino. But that is just my opinion. For Chelsea, you don't see an arrogant player who's big for his foot. Colwill should take a step back and calm down. I don't know why I think we're being too judgmental here. If I'm being really honest, that's my opinion. Sorry?
I think exceptionally judgmental. I mean, listen, he could very well be, as everyone is suggesting, but one doesn't know. So
because we don't know him personally.
Yeah, it's just hyperbolic. I don't know.
Well, let's see. That's why we're here. That's why this is a Chelsea perspective. We all are entitled to our opinions.
Yeah, but because, it's a little unfounded, though. Until you hear
going to the extent of calling him arrogant.
Yeah, it's unfounded.
Yeah. Go ahead, Roger. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, it's unless someone actually knows him and can actually attest to the fact that he is arrogant, then it's a bit of a character assassination. I've never met him. I don't know him. I don't know anyone who does know him personally. So, I slanderous in my opinion. But
yeah,
so be it.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Just so be it. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but not their own facts.
Yeah, I hope Nkunku gets the numbers turned short. I say it's a Crystal Norton, my Jamaican bro. I appreciate you for finding the time to join the show. But I'm suspecting there's a chance Enzo might want that number, but we don't know. If Enzo wants it, then Nkunku is not going to get it. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. But the good thing, the number is 7 short is vacant, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's vacant. And Nkunku, doesn't he like to win number 7? Number 11, I don't remember. But 132, let's get it to 200 and shoot for 300 people. I appreciate you all. Honestly, Roger is on point. That's what I said. We've seen a plethora of academy players flushed out without getting a requisite help. Or you can say, you mean required help or opportunity to prove themselves at Chelsea. It's not abnormal at all for him to feel the way or for him to look out for himself. And that's how I like to simplify it. If only we can give him a reassurance and hope that he will be able to enjoy healthy competition, because competition is needed and we're Chelsea and should be isolated. Yeah. Jerry Z, here comes. My wife has been joking that I've been more invested in Pochettino than, you know what, Jerry? I agree. Here's the thing. I like Pochettino, and I know Jerry likes Pochettino. Or at least in the Rogers case, I know Roger is willing to give him a chance, and Roger believes he's a good manager. I don't know whether I should use the term like, but Jerry, he sounds like he's Pochettino's agent. I have to be honest. And if you read that article he wrote that's on our blog on ChelseaPerspective.com, you will know how much he likes Pochettino. I've been more invested in Pochettino than in Hall over the past 2 weeks.
That's a dead man walking.
And honestly, Jerry, I agree. And I know you know that saying, happy wife, happy life. You better watch what you're doing.
That's funny.
I'm so sorry. I showed her not to worry. It's just this captivating aura. You can argue that's the case, but Jerry, nice to see you again, brother. Yeah, we should not overjudge the situation. And the man could be unhappy that Nani started this topic on social media live stream. That is a very mature comment and a delicious one at that by JC. not the most comfortable place anyway. Yeah, it's just that reminds me of when was the player was signed that revealed that Eden Hazard was going to Madrid. What's this player? I love him so much. He played on the Sarri at Napoli. He's played for Juventus too. He on camera after we won, I think the Europa League. He said on camera, top guy, Real Madrid. And Eden Hazard was saying that's personal. You don't reveal that here. Who was that? I just can't remember his name again. I like him actually. He joined us on loan from Juventus, but didn't do well. Didn't do really well. How can I forget his name? It's one of my favorite strikers actually.
When was this?
Under Mauricio Sarri.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, I can't recall.
Yeah, I don't remember. He's one of my favorite strikers actually. Taking advantage of Chelsea's interest in Dusan Vlahovic, Juventus have asked for Romelu Lukaku 25 million euros in return. Deal or no deal? You're asking me? Not if we're getting Vlahovic, not bad. Plus, we're giving them Lukaku plus this money for Vlahovic. I'll take it, honestly. Did you think that was a foul on Colwill?
Yeah, I'm glad someone brought that up, actually.
At the end of the under 21. Okay, can you knock that one up so we'll move on?
Listen, I'm exceptionally biased. I admit that because I'm a big England fan. But that was a very soft penalty. You know, I've heard analysts say that, listen, it's a contact sport. You're allowed to have contact. Contact doesn't automatically mean it's a foul. And that was a tap. It's getting to the point where if molecules, you know, come in contact with each other, it's a penalty. I mean, it was. Listen, had England been given that penalty, I would have said the same thing. Or Chelsea, it's soft, and yet we get Cucurella that gets his hair pulled down to the ground.
It's a Chelsea thing.
It's. There is no continuity whatsoever. Listen, I've actually reffed a game once, and I've been a linesman a few times. And it's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's really tough. But not when you have VAR now. You have VAR. And so they're using super slow-mo. And it obviously accentuates everything. We have the technology now where we shouldn't be getting things wrong, or at least the vast majority of things wrong. And we are. And I'm concerned about that. By the way, I just want to congratulate the boys.
Congratulations to them, two of our boys, right?
Yeah, well, not just that. It's like I'm blowing England's trumpet right now, but I get a lot of stick, and I see a lot of stick about England players. Well, we're currently under 19 and under 21 UEFA champions.
Some talent.
Yeah, and by the way, since St. George's Park has been built, and then you have a coaching mechanism that has been, you know, instigated throughout the whole of England. So you're seeing continuity with the badges. Since 2012, since it's been built, no team in Europe has won more either UEFA or FIFA championships than England.
You're starting to see more technically gifted players.
Yeah, but I mean, it's quite noticeable. Players such as Foden, where he doesn't resemble your prototypical English player of years gone by. He looks very much an Iberian Peninsula player. Like, he looks very Portuguese or very Spanish in the way his stature, the way he touches the ball, his technical ability. Yeah, England, probably Britain to a certain extent, they're creating. Look at Scotland even. They're creating far more technical players now because they were behind the ballpark, and it's cyclical. It's the same thing that once St. George's Park was built, you had the German Bundesliga Association come and look at the St. George's Park. So I know we're getting off topic, but anyway, very, very proud of the boys.
Just quickly, I'm getting my co-host. He's saying he's available to host the evening show on the Daily Roundup show today with Fahim. That's Helgi. So, Rosa, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. The real thing that impressed me was the goalkeeper. He's from City, unfortunately. It's the first time that any team has ever won every game and never conceded a goal. Spain did it in 2013, but they conceded a goal in the final. England didn't concede one goal throughout. They won every single match. That speaks volumes. I got to admit, he was outstanding throughout each. I watched every single match. He was an outstanding goalkeeper through everyone. That doesn't automatically mean he's going to be a world-class keeper, but his ceiling level is very high, it looks like. He's fundamentally sound. His footwork looks good. Everything looks good. He's a big, strong keeper, and he's got great reflexes. I want to see Slonina. I'm dying to see Slonina play. I want to see how he is compared to Trafford, I think his name is. So, yeah.
All right, let me catch up with what we have in the chat so we can switch topic here. This is Kachila. Which player do you know personally to make any judgment? I'm pretty sure you don't. Yeah, I don't. And have I said Lukaku is a bad person? If anything, I just talk about his situation. And I've always said whenever we talk about player here, we try to focus on the situation. But unfortunately, you have people who are taking it wrong with it and start name calling. And I'm not into name calling. I'm sure you know that. So you were the one that talked about what's his name, Levi Colwill being arrogant, and I told you I don't think it's okay for us to call him arrogant. We don't know him personally, if that makes sense. Yeah, I get it. I'm not picking and choosing. I don't judge players that much. If anything, I try to be as objective as possible and talk about situations like Lukaku's transfer situation. And usually I've always talked about Inter Milan, and talk about how Lukaku have spoken about his intent, his willingness to go, his preference of going back to Inter Milan and Inter Milan alone, how that doesn't help Chelsea from a negotiation standpoint, and never gone to the extent of calling him names. I get it, some people call names, and I get it. You're everybody's lawyer in the sense that once we're talking about one player, you bring up how we treat other players, if that makes sense. But I much love, brother. After living a few months in Liverpool and seeing how they support their players and rarely slander them. It's shocking how Chelsea fans assume the worst of their players. I don't understand why. Yes, then I think all the clubs do that too, and it's not a good thing. Slandering players, speaking beyond their ability on the ball, Coach, or their contract situation and calling them names. I don't think it's okay. But go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, I think it's a valid point, but I think Liverpool is an exception to the rule because they have exceptionally loyal fans. I'm not saying other clubs don't get me wrong, but they're renowned for that. If anything, they are.
I didn't know that. I'm just learning.
Oh yeah. And we are diametrically the opposite.
But yeah. You can say they're better than us, but you can say the slander thing happens at every club. But because we're immersed in our own situation, we don't see theirs from their own perspective. But go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, I think Chelsea historically slander our own players more so than Liverpool ever do. Now, true that they are a behemoth of a team, of a club. I mean, they're in my opinion, the biggest club in England historically. They've won, I think, one less Premier League or First Division / Premier League title than Man U, but they've won over twice as many Champions Leagues. They are by far a bigger club trophy-wise than Man U has ever been, and so listen, they should be. They are on a different pedestal, so to speak. But yeah, I think Chelsea have a history of slandering their players more so, and Liverpool is on the other end of the spectrum for sure. They're renowned for that.
Yeah, let me just quickly catch up with what we have. A happy husband, happy life. Yeah, it goes both ways, but more significantly, happy wife, happy life. I don't know why that's the case. Sorry?
We didn't get him from Juventus, did we? He went to Juventus.
We signed Morata from Real Madrid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we didn't get him from Juventus.
No, he went to Juventus.
Yeah.
I think the name I was looking for was Higuain, and here you go. This guy mentioned it here.
Okay.
Higuain was the name I was looking for. Yeah, no, I wasn't looking for Morata. I can't. Olayomi, my Niger, bro. Thank you for saying that too. Jerry Z, yeah, Rudiger asks us to stay on live TV after winning the Europa League. That game, when Hazard destroyed Arsenal, all CFC fans should know that. I remember that, but this case, I think it wasn't public then. I think, what's his name? Higuain was being too specific. He was being too specific in the sense that he was mentioning his move to Real Madrid. But you can say, irrespective of the situation, Chelsea are the one who helped him grow by sending him on loan.
Yes.
Lucky enough, he performed. He should not take Chelsea for granted, else he should be brought back as soon as possible. If you want to take the risk of him leaving as a free agent or selling him for a cheaper price coming season, up to you. And SmackDown, thank you for mentioning Higuain was the name I was looking for. A lot of people mentioned I was not you were not fond of Poch from the start, but his press conference shows the kind of aura. I want confidence and not asking for time to destroy the team. First, not telling us we have to suffer. Good mentality. You can say, yeah, good mentality. The name of the player is Higuain from Juventus. Yep. We signed him, but he played on the Sarri at Napoli. When we signed him on loan from Juventus, correct me if that. But Helen Bratry, thank you for saying that. Higuain was the name I was looking for. No one knows why Lukaku made that interview, but no one wants to know. No, if you use the term, some people don't want to know it. How many times have you heard me talk about the interview? Rarely. I rarely talk about it because the interview, truthfully, is open to interpretation. But it was a mistake, yeah. But beyond that, there are other issues. My focus now is that we're stuck with him. We need to find a solution so he moves on. It's as simple as that. People made their character judgment, abuse left, right, and center. This is the society we live in. You can say that. That's the truth. I agree with you. I think it became abuse, and to an extent where you can say it just doesn't make any sort of sense. We don't know him. Nobody knows him personally. I shouldn't be going to that extent. If you want to talk about his ability as a footballer, go ahead. But don't talk about him as a person, saying he's a bad person, this, that. I don't think that's okay. Great morning to you too, Deborah Martin Joe. I hope you're doing well. Roger, the thing with contract is referee. The referee has to judge. And when it comes to Spain, the players are really smart and will explode as if they have been hit by artillery. molecular artillery. Yeah,
it's so true.
That's their thing.
Listen, I'm going to say this, and I've said this before. I'm generalizing here because there's always exceptions to the rule, but Brazilians do it. It's a South American thing. They don't view it. Ali Mourinho from ESPN.
They make meals of such situations.
Yeah, he's from South America, and he said it's cultural thing, like the hand of God. You know, where Maradona beats Shilton by literally punching the ball in. You know, in South America, that's not looked at as cheating.
You can say cheating is part of the game.
Yeah, no, they look at it. This is what Ali Mourinho said. He said, "You do whatever you do to win, and that's acceptable, and it's a cultural thing, which is fine, you know. But in England, it's just not tennis, as they say. It's you know, and it's I've seen it with the Spanish, with the Italians, especially in the 70s. Oh my God, that was my first exposure to them internationally. They would fall over if you breathed on them. It seems to be a Latin/Mediterranean. It's a cultural thing. I'm not saying British players / English players don't do it, but I think they do it, generally speaking, to a far lesser extent. And I'm going to just say something. I think there's things that can change this, like, for instance, diving. You know, I think you give a player, you know, you send them off, or you can do it retroactively with VAR. If you see a player that dove deliberately and gained an advantage, you fine them. And you ban them one game. The next one, you ban them for a year. By the way, their salary goes to a children's charity. And then the next one is lifetime. I guarantee you this stops it. This stops the quote-unquote diving. This stops you know, just examples like that. It needs to stop. You know, it ruins the game. It brings the game into disrepute, you know. And I think it's offensive, to be honest with you. And you know, I guarantee you, once you ban someone for life after the third or fourth attempt at doing it, you know, it sends a message. It will never even get to that. I guarantee you. If a player or players even come close to being reprimanded in such a way, they will change. They just will. It's that simple. UEFA/FIFA have the ability to change the culture of the game for the better, in my opinion, and yet they choose not to. And I find that somewhat befuddled by it, to be honest with you.
All right, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with. Let's see what else we have here. And I want to keep the topic aligned as much as we can. With time, we will appreciate our news scouting department. I think they're doing a good job, really. It was a stonewall penalty. Colwill kicked and the player instead of the ball. Okay.
It's well, I mean, listen. Had England been given that penalty, I would have said that it was very soft. You know, listen. It was reviewed on the VAR in super slow-mo. Yeah, there was contact, but as most analysts will tell you, all contact is not a foul. Do you understand that? He went over like he got hit by Bruce Lee in Kung Fu movie. Come on, it was the reaction didn't warrant the actual contact. Let's put it that way.
All right. Go ahead, Roger.
But you know what, though? There's also room for the argument in the opposite direction, where you see someone getting fouled, and because he or she doesn't go down, the penalty's never given. So I get that. I've seen it time and time again. And yet, had that person gone down, guess what? There's stonewall penalty. So I get it. So it's. That to me tells me that it's a continuity in refereeing or lack thereof, and especially when you're going to use VAR, because just because a player is fouled, that person could have gone down. Then they should review it and say, you know what, that player still carried on. Guess what, we're going to give the penalty. So there's reward for not going down. Does that make sense? Subsequently, and I believe that it behooves the VAR team, and I think VAR has to change in so many ways. I know this is not the topic, but I didn't think it was a penalty. I would like you to review, go on YouTube and have a look. That you can see in the highlights, you'll see the actual, is it a penalty or not? And give me your honest opinion tomorrow, whenever you want, Coach. And tell me what you think.
I will definitely. Jerry could be a Pochettino, and he rates him very highly. He does, and he rates him more than I do. Iguain was the name I was looking for. Uzon, Jesus, thank you for saying that. Perfect job. Let's see what else we have here. Roger, absolutely correct. English refs should not be making errors with technology. They're notoriously known for errors, and they have carried it to FIFA. High-profile refs with high-profile errors. Okay, I'm going to move on.
But yesterday was an English ref. An English ref. And VAR, I don't believe, maybe I'm incorrect, but I don't believe English or Spanish refs on the field and in the VAR were actually officiating this game. You can't be. You have to be neutral. So, listen, trust me, I'm saddened by a lot of poor English refereeing, whether it be in VAR or on the field. Don't get me wrong. It's very... listen, I think the quality of refereeing across the board on all continents is quite poor, generally speaking, and England is no exception to that, or Britain, however you want to term it. So yeah, I agree, but I don't believe, if you're referring to the UEFA thing, I don't believe that was an English/Spanish compliance with that at all. So,
all right, thank you, Roger. You might want to be a gentleman. Okay, where's that one coming from? Okay, I agree, but when a player always have the same player over and over, then there must be something wrong with that player. Lukaku damaged relationship with everyone. You can argue that, but thank you for saying that. A lot of people miss all it. And big up to you too, Mitchell boy.
Hey,
bro, I appreciate you
for
finding the time to join. If you haven't, please go check out Mitchell boy's channel, YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. You can click the 3 dots to his name. Click on go to channel and subscribe. And Mitchie, I'm sure you heard Roger screaming your name on the panel here. Big up to you, brother. I have to disagree with something. We're not slandering, just joking sometimes. How many of Liverpool players give interviews from us? Okay, I'm going to move on from that one. You're responding to someone. Tell me one Liverpool player. Okay, let's move on, please, from that topic. Let me see what you have to say here. One Liverpool player who gave an interview like Lukaku did from his sofa, or Pulisic from his I know where you're going with that one, but I'm not reading it again. I am just saying, when it's funny, we laugh and laugh. It's healthy, live and enjoy, and we don't slander. We don't allow people to slander players here. At least we try our best. And if you do it to an extent, you get banned. Kochila, don't get me wrong. My views are from a general perspective. Not that no. Listen, don't worry about me. I like the way you present your argument or debates. That's why you're a moderator too. You should know that shows I respect your opinions. It makes people think. Without something like that, we want to have a good show. People pick and choose what they will a little or no with what they do with little or no objectivity. That's the truth. I agree with you. Let's see what else we have here. As long as it is a fun banter and humorous, I think it's all right. No slandering. We don't do that. Nice to see you here, Aditya. I don't know if I've said hello to you. They want to win they go with little objectivity. Let me just say that. With Chelsea, we won the Premier League more than Tottenham with Poch. I think I agree with you. Guys, if you haven't followed us, like and subscribe to the channel and invite your friends. We are also on Twitter at Chelsea Perspective, Chelsea Prospect at Twitter. No, if you spell it fully, you will not find it. But follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, and also on Thread, the new Twitter-like platform introduced by Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook if you prefer. I hope this talk with Mudryk also applies to everyone. I think most definitely applies to everyone. Roger, he's referencing the comment on the screen where we've already, I said, I don't know, you didn't say anything with regards to this particular report, where he said this means you could say every individual player, he knows them individually, knows how they apply themselves, each of them apply themselves on the pitch, and knows what to do to help them improve individually, given what he says here. And when he says, I really like to see and to know him, and then to design the best strategy to help him be at the level that Chelsea expect. Like I said, I love this actually, and I read it like 10 million times, making sure making sense of it. To me, it simply means he doesn't believe in one size fits all. The players differ. As such, as young players, because they differ, you have to tailor how you deal with them to fit how they apply themselves on the pitch and help them. To help them develop very well. I don't know, Roger, what do you make of that comment?
Hello there. Sorry, I was on the phone. I apologize. I'm just reading it right now.
Okay, you don't. Go ahead with your call, Roger. Come back later.
No, it's fine.
Okay,
Actually, to be honest with you, I have to leave in the next 5 minutes. I apologize, Coach.
Mm-hmm. And you know what, Constantine, that I've been saying in the chat, I told Roger I was going to leave soon. Go ahead,
good one. That's a good one. Listen, are we talking about the player on the screen here, Mudryk?
Now, beyond the player, I know this you can say this report. Just talking about Mudryk, but if you look at it from here, we can say, to me, it means that he understands them as individuals, and he has a different program for different players based on how they apply themselves on the pitch. Because you can say training players, helping players improve. In terms of helping players improve, there's no one solution for that. No. You can say that will suit all of them.
Yeah, there's no cookie cutter approach.
Yeah, exactly. No one size fits all. Yeah, exactly.
Because of the fact they're all individuals, they all have different personalities. Yeah. They perhaps, shall we say, take on information in different ways. You know, especially there's language barriers. There's different ways to explain things, whether it's be football, mathematics, whatever. So, and also different personalities, you know. And I think he's talking about them as players and also as individuals, making them better people, also making them more disciplined, understand his philosophy, etc. I think it encompasses a whole myriad of different factors. So
yeah, I agree with you.
I think it's good. Listen, it's going to be a very interesting upcoming season, isn't it? It's interesting times ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you. Ty, I don't know you have anything to add to this one, or should I move on?
Hello, Ty.
Of course, I have something to say.
Hola.
Hola.
He says, "Don't cut me off, because I have something to say." Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah. That is a good statement from Pochettino, and yeah, it can apply to all players, not just Mudryk, because Mudryk is not the only new player that appears to have struggled to adapt. Even and I think there was this quoting from Pochettino about Sterling as well. I think he said something about he's a good player. Some people don't understand that it's not easy to adapt to a new team, and in terms of that, and with Mudryk in particular, it's good because Pochettino has made a name for himself, or has made a name in a sense of helping younger players in particular to perform at a higher level, or to perform at a level that the club can accept, or fans can be proud of or appreciate. So in a sense, if he's able to meet him, have a discussion with him, get to know him, and that part is important. Get to know him. So not only his not physical, his football attributes, but also his personality, his traits, and his characteristics. Then he's able to know that the strategy that he may decide to come up with, how you'll handle it, how the mentality that he has, and in a sense, if you can go by the tattoo that Mudryk has about work and working hard. I don't know what it says particularly, but it speaks about dream and working hard. I think he'll be open to anything, because he's one of those players who has shown from the very beginning that he's willing to work extra hours. He's willing to work and learn, or to do things that can benefit his development and improving his attributes. I think it could be something that if he gets to know him not only just as a footballer but as a person, he can help him, and not only him but other, as Roger was saying, other players, in terms of their personality, their traits, the way that they handle issues or problems that may occur, or issues that may pop up. I think that in a sense it could be positive. I think it's a good thing for Pochettino to say, and it shows that he knows that there's some players that obviously need help because they haven't really adjusted to the league. Enzo Fernandez, despite him doing certain things to show that he's a promising player, he hasn't really adjusted. It's shown in a sense, and obviously the physical part of the game isn't really his best side, but you can see that he's struggling in that area as well. So it doesn't only apply to only him. And as God of Frog says right there, the talk perhaps may not be only with Mudryk, but there should be hope that it applies to everyone and not just Mudryk, which I don't think it really does.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to explain that, Ty. Yeah, I think he applies to all of them. Chelsea had a player mastered in the dark of art. He was Diego Costa. Yeah, he was. Yep. He mastered that. Mudryk, to me, has a higher ceiling than Nani, and it could
I disagree.
It could be just a Poch sees a very good player in him. But let's see what happens.
I think. Listen, I like Mudryk, but I think he's very raw. I actually think Nani has a higher ceiling.
And and whoever said what they said, God the Frog is entitled to think Mudryk is. And for me, I don't want to draw conclusions yet. I need time to watch them more in the Premier League. Let's see what happens. But if I have to say, from what I know, from what I've seen, I lean towards Mudryk, but I don't want to make that decision right now. Big up, God of Frogs. Hello to you, Mitchell Boy, once again. Dean Roger have to go. I was going to read that. No matter what you do, Roger,
That's
I was
funny.
going to read that.
Thanks,
like
Dr.
I know Constantine probably going. Roger told us he's going to be quick, but he's still here. He's still here. Stop that, Constantine. Don't remind him. I want Roger to stay. Let's see what else we have here. Big up diving players. Okay, diving players are to be put in a glass box near the sideline with a dust cap and for 10 minutes to reflect.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think diving will never go away from football. It will always be there.
It can go away if the rules are changed. It's that simple.
Yeah, I know what you said when you talked about it. I don't think the punishment will get to that extent.
No, I know it won't either.
Ban.
I'm just saying in the
but I know
world.
we're just having a conversation. You're just saying that there's something that can be done, but deep down they will not go to that extent because there's been worse offenses on the pitch than that.
Sadly.
Yeah, like blatant fouls that broke someone that broken people's leg and all that. Big up. I've read that one from Glenn 10. He's changed it to Glenn 10. Big up to you, Glenn. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Roger, Michi misses you.
Yeah, likewise, Michi.
And Jerry Z confirming what everybody thinks. I highly rate Poch based on his achievements, which are often overlooked. Consistently finishing in the top 4 with a smaller club. You have to call them a smaller club, right? They will find you. I'm sure they know where you live. It's just as impressive as winning the league with a bigger club. To me, he actually overachieved at Tottenham.
It's not just finishing in the top 4. It's his defensive stats that stick out, Coach. They're incredibly impressive. They improve.
I haven't actually paid attention to that. So his defensive again. His teams are very sound defensively.
From Southampton to Spurs, they improve each year defensively.
Wow,
they're in the top.
That's something
2.
I haven't paid attention to.
Have a look at it. It's impressive.
Smash the like button, people. 148 likes. Let's get the likes up and shoot up for 200. True coach. I will come on. If you have space now, okay, just send me a message on Twitter, then I'll find out. It will be easy. Instead of searching for your name, then I'll send you the link if you have time. We still have a bit of time to go. I wouldn't mind having you on. Glenn 10, hope you're good. Let's see. Just saying hello to each other then. Okay, just having a conversation. Hard Punch has a plan for Lukaku to code name Operation Dumbo Drop.
I like that one. We should use that.
Oh my goodness. Pochettino saying he has a different program, so for different players, it shows he knows what he's doing. That's how I see it too. But a lot of people will see that particular comment and move on to it. But that's the sort of comment that appeals to me, if that makes sense. Let's see what else we have here. Static. I think we'll fix that. I think it was mine. It was still plugged in. Usually, in some cases, if I have my iPad close to it, and a call comes in, it can cause that. But I think it should stop by now. Big up Michi, just saying hello to Michi there. If only Poch put that much effort in his teeth. Can you leave the man alone, please? What is wrong with you? You have to talk about his teeth. Chucky's done vote for Christmas. Thank you for telling him that. Here's the link to Ty Talks YouTube channel, not Ty Talks YouTube channel. It's called a Chelsea Session. He's closing on to 1,000. He's closing on to 1,000 subscribers. I think he's how many now? Is it 890 something? 895 or so.
You see this now, Coach?
Yeah.
This is how I know that you check the status of my channel.
Yeah, I watch all your contents. Sometimes I do go back to rewatch the ones I've actually watched. But go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, because you just specified. I think it's 891 now. I got 3, and I got some Caribbean people as well. Because they say it's the Dujon Whisper Richards video attracted Caribbean people. So how's
that video doing now? It's improving, right?
It's improved. It hasn't really gotten to the number that
but you know how YouTube works. Yeah. One day just go like this, boom.
Yeah, like the Andrea Santos video. It was at 300 views before, and now it's gone up to 700. But that's because of the new news about him and loan and potential loan and things like that. So the YouTube pushes it because people start to wonder about Andrea Santos.
Yeah, so the other one will still go up because people will still be seeking to get to know more about Whispers. So go check out the Chelsea session. So be sure to subscribe. Let's help him get to 1,000 as soon as possible. Usman, Isaac, Bangbosaurus, Chelsea all the way, Star Slayer 344. All of you, if you haven't, please go check out Ty's YouTube channel and subscribe if you haven't. I'm going to pin the link at the very top. So if you're coming in and you see it, go subscribe to my brother's channel. Please, let's help him get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. That will go a long way. And let's see, what else do we have here? I think Noni has a higher ceiling too. I don't want to laugh. His performances at the end of the season had some promises. I think there's a good player in both of them. But one thing I can agree, I think Roger said that. Roger, did you say they're both raw? They're still kind of raw.
No, I think Noni is less raw. I think he's more polished in so many ways.
Really?
The thing about Mudryk is, yes, he has blazing speed and he's got very positive attributes, but his passing has a lot to be desired for, generally speaking. Also, his first touch gets him. I think, obviously, it's the pace in which he plays. I think he has to learn to slow down a bit and so forth, but he is very raw, coach, especially when you consider the amount of money we paid for. But
both still have a long way to go.
Yeah, they do, but I think Noni is more polished at this stage in their career.
Okay. But here's been, I think... Sorry?
It reminds me of Salah, Mudryk, in terms of pace.
Oh, yeah, the early days of his career, right?
Yeah, because when he was
like that. Mm-hmm.
He was moving so quickly that that sometimes the ball gets away from him, and that's what you see with Mudryk. His pace and his pace control, you can see that it's not up to the level that it needs to be. So if you could, well, I can't say he does what Salah does because nobody really knows what Salah really does. But
Salah said in an interview, sorry to interject, that he said that he really learned to grow up as an individual, learning how to look after his body also when he moved to Italy after Chelsea. And he said he changed completely and his training regimen changed completely.
So he needed that loan.
Yeah.
But he didn't need that
loan. Yeah, but a lot of people will still be blaming Chelsea for selling him. Look, it happened. He moved on.
He's not the player that when he was playing for us and the player we see now, two different players. You can't really say that.
That's true. He's matured.
He spread a goal.
Yeah. I think he scored. His first goal was that game. Was it Arsenal that we trashed?
The game that we won.
He was brought on. Mourinho brought him on late in the game.
Yeah. It was 6-0.
Yeah, Roger just saying he has to go quick so you can let him talk more. I like that. That may well be the case. It looks like
I am. I'm leaving, and I'm leaving seriously in the next couple of seconds. I really do have to go. My cousin's here. So.
Oh my goodness, Roger! Thank you so much for finding the time to join.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was a pleasure.
150 likes. Let's get it to 200 and shoot for 300 as soon as possible. Dark Arts are realistic, Roger. Hopefully we can sign Turkey from Lyon since Pulisic has gone. Turkey will be an even better replacement. Football being a contact sport doesn't mean you have to break or shoot someone to call it a foul. I agree with you on that one. I hope Chelsea can do business fast instead of the last minute doing wrong or panic buys. I think we'll be strategic, and as you can see, we're not in a hurry. But that doesn't mean we'll end up signing players in a hurry towards the end of the transfer window. I pray history repeats itself. TT from PSG won UEFA Champions League, so Poch also will give us that. Okay, let's see if that happens. Poch wants Lukaku to come to his office and say hello, but let's hope Poch doesn't hit him, doesn't give him a friendly welcome. I think he'll still give him a friendly welcome. That doesn't mean he stays. Titus, and watching from Kenya, Titus, Shikanga, Titus, thank you for finding the time to join the show. I appreciate you. Welcome. Feel free, express yourself. Just keep it civil. That's all we ask of you. You're welcome feel at home more importantly. Thiago Silva is already pressing Nkunku's neck. Get fit, bro. Yeah, I saw something. I had to go dig it out after I saw screenshots of it on Twitter. He told him holidays over, time to work. And Nkunku, I went down the replies and saw when Nkunku says, yeah, time to suffer. I think a bit more time before he returns to suffer or something like that. Let's see what else we have here. If Poch can finish top 4 and win a domestic trophy this season, and then we can believe he can take us to the Premier League and Champions League heights. I think he can. Just be strategic in the market. It's as simple as that. Both Nani and Mudryk need to work on their end products. I guess they both have both higher offensive personal trainers, maybe, and they're still very young. And the more they play, the more polished they become. Nani was more composed than Mudryk, not like he's a finished product, needs a lot of improvement, far more confident than Mudryk. Wow, so you agree with Roger. Okay, let's see. What else we have here? What place do you guys think we will end up in? You mean in the coming season? I'm hoping 5th after the season, which is hard. Listen, all I can say is that we'll do better than a lot of people expect us to do. How well do I think we'll do? I'm not going to go to the extent of, you can say, telling you this is how well I think we'll do, but we'll do well. I see we are not in a hurry. We even present our new kit without a sponsor, and that's good. That shows you these owners, they don't want to make mistakes anymore. I think they've been in a hurry on occasions, fired the manager in a hurry, hired one in a hurry, and they see how badly that turned out. And I remember Ty saying, I hope this doesn't blow up on their faces, and it did, but I've forgiven them. I've learned to move on from the mistake they've made, because I'm saying things they're doing now, I'm learning that they're learning from the mistakes they've made. One example being a 2-year contract plus 1-year extension, for the possibility of extending to a 3rd. The contract of Mauricio Pochettino shows you they're learning, and they're not in a hurry actually to sign players, which means the footballing people at the club are making the decisions, scouting and everything. But that's just my opinion. I want to look beyond the mistakes they've made. I know the future of the club will be bright. I've always been concerned with the club's immediate future, and it turns out I was correct. Arsenal ace last season was in their preseason preparation. Start fast and play more tune-up games. I think I agree with you. Last season we traveled more than played games, and that was an issue, really. But this season we'll play a lot of games. And that makes a whole lot of difference. Last season, we came to America for promotion and not to prepare for games. How about Caicedo? Nothing new, except that we're still talking with the club. He's a great person at times. With us, nothing new beyond that. It will be the battle between Arsenal and Chelsea to be the biggest club in London. Here's the thing. Remember, I told you this. I don't know if their season will be as bad as Frank Lampard's second season, but they're signing too many players. They're signing too many players in certain areas that I'm not too sure why they're doing that. They're selling 2 of the best players. The players, you could say, were the 2 players were the reasons, one of the main reasons why they did as well as they did last season. In Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka. Xhaka had already left. Partey hasn't left yet, but chances are he leaves. Why they're doing that, I just do not know. But let me see how they cope. Ty, Michi Boy has subscribed to your channel. Thank you, Michi Boy. What I have noticed with Nani, he keeps the ball far too much while Mudryk rushes everything. They can be coached and become better. That is spot on, but they will become better. They're still very young, and the more they play, the more polished they will become. And be rest assured, the right manager to get them to start doing that effectively is Mauricio Pochettino. I bet you guys that kid, Santos and Caicedo, will show EPL. They play 6, 8, and 10. I'm not sure where they fit in, but chances are either of the 2 could stay, or even both of them. Because I recall Mauricio Pochettino's report saying that we're looking for midfielders, but how many more midfielders would sign after Caicedo depends on how preseason goes, which means, to me, we want to give the young stars a chance. I hope Connie Chukwuemeka gets a chance because he's one player. A lot of people are advocating that he goes out on loan. But you saw that game that he played alongside Enzo. He was able to fulfill that role effectively, that we saw the best game ever from Enzo in that particular game. I don't remember what game it was, but it was one of the Premier League games where he got the chance to start. Remember the owners came in late. Yeah, that's another thing, if we're being honest. I figured you recognize the voice, Mitchell Boy. Thanks for subscribing. Let's see, smash the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We've made it to 13,000, and right now already we made it to 13,000 today, and we're already at 13,023 subscribers. Congrats to all of us, Ty. I appreciate you always finding time to support your bro, but you know I'd rather you make sure you're doing well at school than be here. Yeah. Ty, we have crossed paths in the past. I think you have, and Ty knows that. Yep, on Chelsea Dance channel. Let's see. Seems we only know two things: either buying too many or selling too many. Calm down, Chelsea, all the way. I think we'll be all right. We'll be all right, brother. I am excited to see who they buy. I'm not concerned. We have a good scouting department right now. I think they would do well. Thiago Silva doing the captain's job, leadership comes naturally to him, if that makes sense. I'm going to go to AD. AD has found time to join us today, but behind the scenes, AD has been the reason why you can say the show has been easy for me to host, because he always sends me updates, even when the show isn't on. I do get updates from him, and I produce YouTube shots from it, so I can't thank him enough. And he always responds whatever I can do to help the channel grow, bro. But AD, that's by the way, thank you. Welcome to the panel, bro. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Do you want to come in anywhere, or do you want to speak up with anything? Because anything you've heard us discuss. Up to you. You have the floor.
Big up, coach. Big up, everyone. Roger and Ty.
Yeah, I think Roger is gone.
All right, okay. No, it's just interesting. The transfer window sometimes is becoming frustrating now, but I mean, we also have to be patient because they have to do clear out first before we start signing. But it looks as if fans are just ready just to see signings coming, but I don't think they want to fall into the mistakes they made before, where they had to sign so many players and not ending up not getting rid of the ones they want to get rid of. But sometimes it looks as if the news, especially on Caicedo, is just being regurgitated, just comes back the same story every day. We are nearing discussion and all,
Just recycling the same story. Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly, recycling the same story. But we just have to be patient. But for me, if I want to test my optimism, I'll say yes. I mean, the deal will definitely happen, but you never can tell. If the owners are, putting their feet on the ground, saying you can't just fix a price and think we meet that price, I mean, it's a good thing to do. So if they think their own valuation is not up to what the club is valuing the player, they have to meet somewhere and then let the deal happen. So, and I'm excited with what Poch has got to say so far. He's saying the right things. I mean, it looks as if he's ready for this job. He's up for it, and he understands he needs to quickly win the fans over. He knows the fans are divided about him, and then coming from his past, and he's put it rightly to say his past is his past, our past. Let's forget and move on, which I think Chelsea fans should give him a chance, because our opposition from all other fans of other clubs and everybody they really want us to fail as a football club. They're always there just to make sure Chelsea fails. So we cannot help them to make Poch fail, because they'll be so happy to make the headlines with him. He's failed. He's not done good with Chelsea. So we all should just try and rally around him and back him up and make sure he succeeds with us. I mean, the success of Poch would really hit our opponents and all the naysayers, So now we just have to make sure we support him and let him not to fail, because his failure won't be good for us, because they'll keep counting. Oh, Chelsea don't even look at him. Even on the first day, they've started asking him, if you don't win, the kind of club. He said, yes, he's not here to make anything, just to win. He's here to win, So which is good from him. I mean, the vibes coming out from him so far have been encouraged. Very, very good.
It is very encouraging, and I like the fact that he's not into excuses.
Exactly.
He said he's one sort of honestly, like I think you and I, we've been saying the same thing. I get it. We didn't have the best squad in the league the last season, but we shouldn't do as bad as we did. You know. But go ahead with what you were saying. Sorry for cutting you off, Eddie.
Yeah, no, I don't think we can. I don't think we're going to do as bad as we did last season. I mean, it's clear for everybody to see where things went wrong for us, except those that really feel they're happy about what happened to Chelsea. But to be honest, the honest people would let you know that what happened to Chelsea is just a kind of the wrong decision from the owners to sack Tuchel that early, and then made a mistake of bringing in Porter. You know,
just like this.
And then to further crown their failure, they brought in Lampard as well. So it just all went wrong. We should just put it behind us now and move forward and be optimistic about this new season. You know, I believe we want to see new signings, but we shouldn't forget that we still have so many players. People just forget to think that we still have players that are on loan are going to come back to the club, and they still have to clear out. Ampadu, Lukaku, all of them. To look at the players being linked that going out, they still need to clear out before we decide on bringing in players. And I know they'll definitely bring in some good players that will excite the fans. Vlahovic, I think they really want, but I don't know if we get Vlahovic.
You use the word really. That sounds confident. Confident for me. You think we really want him? From maybe you've seen something I haven't seen.
Yeah, because the reports we are hearing is looking as if reports are anything to go by, I think he's even, according to the information said, he's told Juve he wants to leave and he likes to come to Chelsea. That's the vibe we're getting from it. That's the report. He wants to come to Chelsea, and Chelsea too wants him. I think Poch wants him, and they're even trying to say if Juve coming for Lukaku, which I think Lukaku has. I haven't sent you an update there where they say Lukaku is ready to take a million pay cut just to make sure he gets himself to Inter. So it's not going to happen. They wanted to discuss getting Lukaku and us getting Vlahovic, but I think they are not dependent of each of the other. Like if he goes to Inter, we still want to get Vlahovic, but Chelsea are refusing to meet the valuation. They value him at around 64 point something million, but Chelsea looks at him at around, I'm not sure the figure now, but less than that. You know, so I think that's where the discussion still continues, but I don't know. But I know we're going to sign more players. We just have to be patient. So
yeah, this is time for the window. Still a long way to go. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We are at 158 likes. Let's see if we can get it to 100. We don't have too much time. Maybe we'll be lucky enough again. But 158, let's get it at least 160 and keep going. Thiago Silva doing the captain's job. Yep, that comment. I know it's playful, but it shows you the leadership in him. Who plays takes our penalties set piece next season? Some are saying Nkunku. I don't know. I think the manager will have to decide if there are it's more than one person interested in doing that. Then he has to, you can say, apply a process to decide who becomes the first choice. Nice to see Nani and Levi winning a trophy. These will give them more motivation to win more. I trust it to like that winning mentality. So I agree with you. If Thiago Silva says it's okay, making Nkunku to work hard to start reveal anything, quite a lot. Do you need a scientist? It's just for me, what maybe you're thinking about something. For me, it just shows the leadership in Thiago Silva, or maybe just because he knows him, he knew him from his days at PSG. People are so quick to panic. Things don't happen when you want them. Negotiations are involved, back and forth. Each party on the table are seeking a favorable outcome. So usually it's not that simple. For the moment, it is just headlines from Poch. The team has not kicked the ball yet, probably pushing them. We could say through their paces to get them fit and ready to go. Just see, but the attitude is right from the start, which I like. Yep, it's a good start. I cannot just put that behind me, mate. I'm sorry we escaped a relegation. Do you have any idea how humiliating that was? It was seriously humiliating. Yeah, so it's not easy to look beyond that. Let's see what else we have here. We don't glorify before time, and it's just not to slander based on one game. Let the pudding come first. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. That is a very solid take, especially because Porter and Lampard were sacked. Any small problem, the media will amplify it. We have to back Pochettino. Yeah, we have to. We have no option, and hopefully he does. And hopefully he gets all the signings in, because I know Chelsea all the way. He's so concerned that he has seen so many sales, but little incomings, not enough incomings maybe. That's a very solid take there. Coach, fans are not divided. They were even. Okay, fans are not divided. They were even. Okay, they were. I'm not sure what to make of that. Even I was not in his favor. I think 85% or 90% fans are completely behind Poch. But before he was hired, it wasn't like that. A lot of people didn't want us to hire him. The fans were behind Poch because the alternative given was a known coach. If the alternative was someone like Enrique, the fans, that's, you've been saying that all the time, and I think that's correct. But beyond that, actually, Poch is a good manager. What is it? Chelsea, why are you using the term refugee here? I'm not sure what to make of that, but that's fine. I'm going to bring in my brother from the Madiba land. When last did I see him on the panel here? But big up to you, Tebejo. Do you have updates for us, or do you want to come in, talk about any of the topics you've heard or discussed? Up to you. You go ahead. Shoot for it, brother. You have the floor.
Yeah, big up, guys. How are you guys?
I can't complain, man. Your voice, the buzz, scares the heck out of me. But go ahead.
Unfortunately, I had a flu recently, so I wasn't feeling well.
Ooh. Sorry about that, brother. That can be very painful, I know. And you didn't tell me.
No, I didn't tell you. Anyway, I think English media are pushing Inter Milan in order to complete the Lukaku deal, because there's no way Lukaku will go to Saudi Arabia, while most people know that he wants to go to Inter Milan. So they are pushing an agenda so that Inter Milan can feel threatened, and then so that they can make a bid for Lukaku soon. And again, hopefully, I don't want Pochettino to have that guy on our preseason. Yes, we love him, but again, his actions are not appreciated. So hopefully Pochettino doesn't have another thoughts of making this guy work at Chelsea. Otherwise, some fans will lose faith on him. So he better be careful in terms of Lukaku. And man, congratulations to Levi Colwill and Noni Madueke. And hopefully the boy, Levi Colwill, can now focus on coming to Chelsea and forget about the negative things we are seeing on the social media about him, Brighton and stuff. We don't know the truth, all of us. We're just predicting. So hopefully he can come to Chelsea and his place and do well. If he has to leave, you can leave, my boy. It's fine. We lost so many good players at Chelsea. We're still Chelsea. I remember.
What do you think will happen, really?
Man, I'm not sure. To be honest, I think we'll stay. I think the reason why Chelsea let go of Koulibaly, they're trying to make a space for Levi Colwill. At the same time, they wanted to free their wage structure. We'll never know.
Yeah.
So do you think we'll stay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think you'll stay, coach, from your side?
I've always argued No, here's the thing. Whether I think it stay is a different thing altogether. But from what my analysis of the situation, from the fact that Brighton had to come in with a bid, simply means he okayed it. He told them, go give it a try. They asked him, do you want to stay with us? Do you want to remain here? He said yes before they came with that £40 million bid. The fact that during an interview, he said something to the effect of Brighton gave him an opportunity when nobody did. That nobody to me represents Chelsea in that conversation. And he said he likes to pay people back when they do such for him, which means paying Brighton back would mean staying, there on a permanent. That's just my opinion. But beyond that, I don't like to go to the extent of analyzing his body language and concluding that he's arrogant and all that. It's difficult to say. He still has about 2 years left on his contract. So, but after the coming season, this season, it becomes just one, then we're probably not going to get much from selling him. So the club will be ready. We've heard that the club will offer him a new contract after the just concluded European Under-21 competition. So if they sense that it's not going to put pen to paper for a new contract, I think they will sell him this window. It's not that straightforward as a lot of people think. But that's my opinion.
At the moment, Coach, Benoit Badiashile is out due to injury, if I'm not mistaken. So he can come in and his place and then impress the coach. Then the coach will decide whether to play him or not. Because in football, you won't say that you want your game time, you want to feel important. Every player is important. Doesn't mean if you don't play, you're not important. So hopefully he stays. But again, I'm not him. I'm not this agent. I won't choose for him.
Oh no, he looks happy. Again, for everything I've heard, the way I see it is that the kid is looking out for himself. It's business for all parties involved. He wants what's best for him. The club wants what's best for him. Go ahead, Ty, you were saying something.
Yeah, I said this in the past. I still feel like his attitude is questionable, and that's not to say that it's horrible, but in a sense, I do find, obviously you can see, and I can understand where he's coming from, because judging by how the future of the promising or players that look like the graduates that look promising, they really work out, or they really get an opportunity at Chelsea. So I get that he wants some sort of assurance that even though he's performing good and everything, he needs to know that there is some way for him to play, because it's not a case where you've not had the graduates who have looked promising and they just didn't get the chance, because that has been the case. We sold some because we couldn't find the greatest opportunity for them because we had other players. There's a lot of graduates that we had, but we had the likes of Hazard and players like that would have obstructed them developing at a certain level, and rather than loaning them out, we decided to sell them. Mark Gohi, for example, we didn't decide to keep him, and I think he wanted to leave as well. So things like that.
All of them that you can mention now wanted to leave.
Yeah. So that is a thing. So they looked at it to say, that's the difference with Levi Colwill. Levi Colwill could say that, okay, fine, Brighton wants me, I'm gonna just decide to go there because it's easier. I'm guaranteed to get more game time than I perhaps may get at Chelsea. But I've always said that the season is unpredictable. Anything can happen. Injuries can happen. But Badiashile got an injury that no one really expected to happen, and that gave opportunities to other players. So in a sense, you never know. But I do find his attitude kind of questionable, because I think that all you need to do is to prove yourself. If you prove yourself, the coach will not be what's the word? He won't be ungrateful for that. He will notice you, he'll appreciate what you're doing, and then he will keep a close eye on you to see if what he can do to help you, and if he thinks that you're good enough to stay. If he doesn't, then he may loan you, or he may say, okay, fine, this player wants to progress and I can't really promise him that game time to do it, then that may be the case. But I do find it questionable, because I feel like as a player that knows that he did well at Brighton, he should feel a bit more confident that if he proves himself, then he doesn't need to worry about if the opportunities will come. Because if he seems like he has an edge over another player, the coach will pay attention to that and will give him the opportunity. So I do find it where he says, because it's the same thing like last season, he wants assurance that there'll be a pathway for him. There's going to be a pathway for everybody, because the decisions about the players coming back from loan who may have a future will not be decided until the coach sees them in preseason or gets a glimpse of them in training and in friendly games during preseason. So I don't know. I find it questionable, and the fact that he doesn't want to sign an extension, which or a potential extension, to me seems like he's not really sure about if he's going to get an opportunity. But I think that the club have shown that they're willing to look at him to say that this player could be long term, because if they didn't, they would not be considering giving him a contract that isn't of that length, and it was a contract that kind of guarantees that they want to keep him just in case the coach does see something promising in him. I just think it's kind of weird, because I think he should be more confident in himself, and it doesn't seem like that from the outlook.
Let's see what happens. The opportunity is still there for him. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 162 likes. Let's get the likes up if you haven't. Then also do subscribe to the channel. Thank you for saying that,
sorry,
Glenn.
Coach,
we should watch. Yeah,
sorry,
I wanted to
Coach.
bring you in. Let me just quickly catch up if you don't
All
mind.
right, okay. Yeah,
I wanted to bring you in. I know you haven't spoken about that. Again, the coaches speak with confidence. It builds a hunger and accountability. I think I agree with you on that one. Lukaku would rather go to Saudi Arabia than stay at Chelsea. I wouldn't mind, but I don't think rumors are that he's considering a Saudi move seriously, because they pay more. And he's not any younger, but let's see. I would try a swap for Vlahovic. I don't think a straight swap will work. Probably will be plus cash, but even that will be difficult. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Lukaku and Vlahovic swap. Chung Nunga. Good luck. Let's see if that happens. It's interesting that Caicedo and Santos are already well built. Interesting times ahead. Let's see what the manager does. Coach, how much did Brighton offer for Colwill? Abi Omogun, I think they offered, I think it was £40 million, or if anything, just a bit above that, but I don't remember. He cannot ask a guaranteed position or a place every week. That's not guaranteed. Nothing is given. We're Chelsea Football Club. As good, no matter how good you are, every now and then you get dropped to the bench to rest sometimes, or maybe just rotate the team to avoid you getting injured. If that makes sense. Juventus want to Lukaku plus 25 million for Vlahovic. It's a good deal if Lukaku will agree to go to them, because if the Lukaku you've seen a similar situation with the case of the U.S. international Pulisic. Leon came with a better offer, but he prefers to go to Inter Milan or to AC Milan, so that didn't help us. What happens if all these noise and the Colwill comes to Chelsea and doesn't perform? Things are going to be spicy. Yep, he will not be any different from that of Mason Mount. But I think it's good enough to live up to the hype. What he should do is stay quiet and see what develops in terms of playing time. I think he hasn't actually said anything. Whatever we're seeing out there are all media speculations. That's how I see it. Brighton offer 40 million for Colwill and ask 100 million for Caicedo. Cannot stand Brighton. Unfortunately, I plead with you not to take it personal. It's business. I would take 40 million, but we don't want to sell him. And plus, we've sold Caicedo Koulibaly, and there's a chance that what's his name, Trevor Chalobah might leave too. So we become thin in the defensive department, if that makes sense. Go ahead, AD. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. On this Levi Colwill, you see, I don't really know. You see, when a young player is coming in, just as you said it, you put it very well. If he has not given Brighton that go ahead, they won't put in this bid, and they still remain very confident that they can get him. So if his body language is saying he wants to be with Brighton, I think so be it. There is no point, and Pochettino has said it, that he doesn't want any player who doesn't want to be there to be with him. Mm-hmm. So if he thinks he doesn't want to, or he looks at it, he's looked at the team and he's seen how stellar Badoshile was last season, he might think, oh, I have a fight in my hand here to displace this guy. So if he thinks he's not ready for the fight,
he probably sees he can win, maybe.
Exactly. A fight he sees probably he can't win and he'll get less game time. So he might be thinking, because if you look at the clip about him and Mudryk yesterday saying, I'm bringing it back to Chelsea, if he was somebody who's definitely who wants to come to Chelsea, it might be a thumbs up or something just to show sign that, yes, I'm coming back to Chelsea. But he never did any of those. So if he wants to stay with Brighton, which I think he will get more game time, let's be honest, if he stays with Brighton than Chelsea, then so be it. We move on and then we don't let him stay. Otherwise, if he doesn't sign the new contract, his contract is going to, start of next season is going to be only 1 year left, and we'll be in that position where we can't get as much as we can get this season. So if after talking to Pochettino next week, he remains adamant that he doesn't see his future with Chelsea, or he doesn't feel that they give him more game time, especially why we don't have any European competition that will say, okay, he plays most of the domestic matches and all, and then maybe Badiashile will play the Champions League or Europa, whatever it is. We don't have the luxury of that. So I think if he doesn't want to stay, which I think, based on body language, even though you say you don't study body language is something that we can easily look at and say, oh,
it is something that go at me right now.
So we can the little we know about body language is that his body language is not positive, to be honest.
Need special training for that, but that's just me not willing to go to that extent.
Yeah, I understand. You're playing it down, to be honest, coach.
At times, because
exactly.
We deal with situations differently as individuals. But go ahead.
Exactly, I know, coach. I mean, you're trying to play it down, definitely, yeah. But we're gonna make him realize that this is Chelsea Football Club, and we have to understand whatever he thinks he wants from the club. If he thinks nobody gave him chance, Brighton gave him the opportunity, well, let him stay with Brighton, and then we move on. If that will help us get Caicedo, we use him in. And I don't know how far anybody has had the report about Chelsea being linked to Laporte from Man City. So could it be him not signing for us and Chelsea going for Laporte? What will happen to Badiashile? Would that be a good signing for Chelsea? He's experienced. He's about 29. But would that hinder the progress of Badiashile if we get Laporte? Because if reports are what we hear, he said it's going for about £30 million. So if that is where the direction they want to go, I don't know. It's just all confusing. I will wait until he discusses with Pochettino next week, and whatever comes out of it, we'll get a clearer picture, because it's either he signs or they sell him. That's what it's going to end up.
Yeah, but I think it's a complicated situation. Really, it's not that simple. A lot of factors must be considered. The fact that he has just about 2 years left on his contract, or a little less at this point. If we force him to stay, if he wants to leave, then we end up getting less than Brighton has offered us this time. But let's see what happens here.
And then sorry, coach, again. Sorry, coach. And then maybe he's looking at it, the exodus of the English players as well might not encourage him, like Mason Mount, maybe talk of Gallagher leaving, Trevor Chalobah leaving. He might be looking at it, they are just selling all this homegrown. What will happen to me? Do I have a future? Kind of, that might be playing in his mind as well. Say he doesn't have a lot of English players around him to, I don't know. Some players do let that affect them sometimes. You might look at it and say, they're not appreciating the homegrown, the academy boys, and all. They're just getting rid of them, because when it looks deep far as what's his name now? Tammy Abraham and
Tomori, plenty of them.
Tomori, all of them. We've let a lot of homegrown. Livramento. Exactly. Billy Gilmore. They've all left. So you might look at it as if the club doesn't seem to appreciate the academy boys and the homegrown boys. Maybe something like that might be playing in his mind, and then he thinks, though, they are not appreciated. I don't know.
Yeah, Constantine Dante, I see your comment. I'll see you next time, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being patient. I know it's late there. You should be in bed, actually. But I appreciate you. Thank you, brother. Lukaku wants Inter, and Inter wants him. So Lukaku should convince Inter to respond to Chelsea conditions. I think that's actually the most difficult of the whole thing. A fair price of a Colwill would be same as for Caicedo. Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, Katila the partner. Good afternoon to you too, DJ. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining, bro. Fact, if he wants to be at Brighton, let him be there. Caicedo's deal and be part of the Caicedo deal. And we get Caicedo for certain. Dean Will, it's nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Who be Colwill, sir? I don't know. It's not irreplaceable. If it's not staying, let's push Brighton to pay a lot more. From what I've learned, if we decide to sell him, I think we'll get a lot more for him. We've proven that. Let him stay with Brighton. We get another player for less than 40 million because we have the scout. We have good scouts now within the club's hierarchy. But let's see what they do. If Colwill doesn't want to stay and fight for his place, Chelsea should demand at least 60 million. I trust the new owners. They're not playing. If you follow the pattern of what they've done, from you can say the sales of players, how well they've done with that. They're not gonna. I don't think they'll sell him for cheap. We will not sign a 29-year-old Laporte. He doesn't fit the model. Possibly he doesn't look like, but we'll be looking. Maybe if we need experience, that's a chance. The manager says that he can work with them. That's all that matters. But maybe his salary will most likely be an issue. If Brighton is Colwill's confidence level, then he may not be right for us. That's a good way to put it to Thomas Bates. Good night to you, to Constantine Dante. Always nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Hit the like button, people. Let's get it to 200. We're now at 165. Let's get the likes up, people. The likes do go a long way. But if we don't appreciate the Academy boys, then why are we buying all this? Probably trying to replenish, if for lack of a better term, because lots of them have gone. How many homegrown start for Brighton? I don't think that's a reason, in my opinion. Her head coach has made it clear he won't need players who would rather be elsewhere, which I agree with. Colwill pinned tweet was from August 2022 announcing his move to Brighton on loan. He just won a trophy, and the tweet remains up there. Yeah, because probably hasn't changed it for a while, and people are seeing it. So let's see what happens. Maybe that's his way of indirectly telling the club he really wants to remain at Brighton, but we'll find out.
But at the same time, we can look at it from both perspectives. He doesn't want to give the wrong impression. If he takes it down, it's gonna give some sort of optimism that he may stay at Chelsea, or he's closer to staying at Chelsea rather than going back to Brighton or going to another club. So if he did that, they're gonna have a section of the media or the fan base saying that, oh, he's taking this down, and he's gonna stay. And now you have the situation now where people are gonna say that he's won a trophy, he's done this, he's done that, and the pin tweet is him being announced, or the announcement of him on loan at Brighton.
Yeah.
So either way, he'll be between a rock and a hard place. So if he does any of those two things, it's gonna give some section of the fan base or the media some sort of satisfaction or something to say that, okay, yeah, he's doing this because he's gonna stay at Chelsea, or he's not done it because he want to stay at Brighton. So I think it's better to just let it stay there, and then if things progress in a certain way, then he just takes it down after that. I don't really think it changes the price of rights, honestly.
Yeah, but Tyke, don't you think his loyalty should be Chelsea and Chelsea? We own him his loyalty should be 100% Chelsea. Whatever he does to think he wants to please, it should be Chelsea fans and not Brighton fans, because Chelsea own him. So his loyalty shouldn't be to Brighton more than to Chelsea. So if he's pinning that down and leaving it on there, which means he's kind of telling Brighton, I love you more than Chelsea. So, but if he respects Chelsea, and then don't let us forget, his career actually was saved by the goalkeeper yesterday because he gave away that pen. Imagine they scored that pen and they went ahead to lose that game yesterday. His confidence will be low, big time low. So that goalkeeper saved.
They can be so unforgiving.
Exactly. So that goalkeeper saved him yesterday. His confidence would have been shattered. He would have been given a big dent yesterday if they had lost that from that equalizer. So don't let's forget. And then also, for me, his loyalty should be 100% to Chelsea because we still own him. We can dictate whatever we want. Even if we say we're not selling to Brighton, he still remains a Chelsea player. So I think, on my own opinion, he should show more loyalty to Chelsea fans. Even if he ends up leaving, I mean, there's still a way you can still come back as a player. I mean, Gray is there with Crystal Palace. I mean, if he wants to come back, we will more than welcome to come back to Chelsea. You know, rather than a player coming to give that impression that oh no, my loyalty is more to Brighton than to Chelsea. In my own opinion, I think he's sending out the wrong signal.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Ty. You were saying something. No, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Either way, it's gonna look bad no matter what he does, because if he does that, it's gonna seem like, okay, he's gonna say the loan is over, which in a sense people would say, and probably you would say the same, that the loan is over technically, so you can remove that and simply move on. You can change pictures or whatever. But it reminds me of, I don't know if Joao Felix did the same, because I think it still shows him in a Chelsea shirt, and with the Chelsea I think it's their Twitter, Instagram account still. There's like, I don't really think it really changes anything. I don't really think anybody really updates their bio or the pictures or what they do, because they don't really have the time to do that. So I don't know. It's down to interpretation on what you think. But like I said, the media will look at it in any way and they'll run with anything. They'll say that, oh, he's not taking it down, so he's still hoping for a move to Brighton, or if he takes it down, it's gonna be okay, fine. He's deciding to stay at Chelsea, or he's closer to staying at Chelsea, or he's just trying to show respect. So no matter what he does, there's gonna be an interpretation, and I don't know. It's a tough situation for him. He probably shouldn't have pinned anything in the beginning. I don't know.
Right, I think we should just move on from that particular topic. I'm putting Gallagher, Colwill, over Lukaku. See it, Sarah. Who's Sarah? Who's Sarah?
Malang, sorry. I looked further down. Sorry, it's Arthur. I think JC said it was Arthur correct. So
yeah, it should be at least another 200 million. Yeah, I think we can still make a lot. If Colwill does not stay at Chelsea, he will not go to Brighton. That's a bigger club that wants him. This is why I think the Colwill deal needs to be sorted out. Yep. And it's difficult because if any other club is serious about beyond Brighton, is serious about taking him, I don't think the club will have any other option than to sell him, because we don't offer good salary right now. We offer salary that's highly incentivized, so that's an issue. Actually, the last player named was Malang. Apply autocorrect is awful. Turns his name to Sarah. Yeah, it is awful. And sometimes they act like they could read your mind.
Yeah, they know where you're gonna put before you put it.
Yeah. Hi, Mauricio. I hope you're doing well. But Ty was able to figure out that was what she wanted to say there. Colwill isn't going anywhere. Okay, but if the club senses that he's not willing to put pen to paper, they will sell him without thinking twice. The deal going though slowly but patient. Yeah, patient pays up. To me, I think we get a lot across the line. Breaking news: Inter are putting up a £35 million offer for Lukaku. I think that's too close to what Chelsea are asking. Maybe would sell him, but probably here's where the problem would be. Inter wants to pay that over 1 million years, and I think that would be an issue with Chelsea. But if they don't have any other option, they may well say, okay, let's just sell him for that. What's our back five like with and without Colwill? His loyalty should be to Chelsea. Yeah, because he's a lot player. Back five, I'm not sure how to give you those names there now. When we say, did you say without Colwill? We still have a few, but no, just name defenders we have. I think he's thinking maybe if we're playing with a 3 at the back structure, I think we most likely play with a 4 at the back structure. Chilwell on the left, James on the right, James or Melo Gusto on the left back or fullback if you're left fullback if you prefer. Chilwell or Correa at this point, or maybe Chilwell and Ian Matson if we end up selling Correa. Essentially, I'm not sure who starts, but most definitely, forget what people are saying. I think Thiago Silva starts as long as he's fit. Pochettino will recognize that we're lack leadership in that team. And Thiago Silva, even though he plays in the defensive area, he leads from whatever he play him, if that makes sense. People are upset because Colwill is doing a little politicking for a position. I think I like that. That's very different from all the arguments I've heard with regards to Colwill's situation. Like, people don't do this every day in a business setting. People do that quite a lot. Why are we agreeing 35 million for Lukaku from Inter? They have the Anna money. Who money? Onana money. Okay, should be at least 50 million. Let's see. You cannot take everything so personally. Yeah, it's not healthy. We can decide to sell to another club entirely if we get a good offer. But the question would be, will Lukaku willing to join the other club? Didn't Colwill score an own goal in the Championship playoff final 2 years ago? He's good, but extremely overhyped. Here's the thing. At this point, he's good, but I still see him as a potential. Should I say, what's the better language? Is it prospect? I'm not sure. Now, Chelsea won 40 million for Lukaku. Yeah, I've heard that before. We can play many formations, which is also good for Colwill. I think I agree with you. Let's see what else we have lined up to talk about here. We were talking about Mudryk, not too much, but the comment more importantly. Mauricio Pochettino now is a new start. They need to show their real quality, but we need to create a platform for them to feel comfortable and to create the space for them to perform and improve. To me, overall, it sounds as if he's meaning to say, he's implying that they want to create a conducive environment for the players to thrive. That is just how I see it. AD, I don't know, what do you make of this before I go to Beho and Ty? Okay, it doesn't look like AD's close by. Tabeho, if you're close by, what do you make of this particular comment? We'll start addressing the last items we have lined up, then we'll call it a day. If you're up there, Tabeho, are you there?
Yes, he's saying, well, I don't see.
I'm just saying, I don't think we should actually dwell on this. It just says, to me overall, what that report is saying, that they want to create a conducive environment so that where the players can thrive, feel at home and thrive. That's how I see it.
Yeah, it's very important. And then he said this during his Chelsea interview, where that players should feel at home when they're at Corbon. That means if, for example, you have some issues, you need to go to his office and resolve them. Rather than, for example, let's say, for example, in a good way, you are working for a company, and then when you go to work, you feel bored. You don't have to feel bored at work. You must feel at home. You must feel loved. You must feel the same energy as like your real home. So I like this idea. That means we won't have players that are going to give us silly negative things. And another thing, coach, I like the fact that it's going to install cameras around the training pitch so they can see the players' attitude and everything. Because it's so important to see the players' reaction and attitude during training or anything that is happening there. So I like that idea also.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, go ahead.
But I wanted to ask you a question. I don't know whether you talked about this already. Which player would you like to be our captain if Thiago Silva is not on the pitch?
It's James. It's simple. It's James. I don't like. In my opinion, I don't like goalkeepers being captain.
Why?
I just don't like it. I want players who can more accessible. Goalkeepers are more accessible. That's just my opinion, really.
Yeah, you're right.
The goalkeepers aren't that accessible, except when the ball is closer to our final thought. But it depends. He's done it. He's given Lloris captain his team, didn't he? Or was it the vice captain at Tottenham for him? I don't remember. But that's just my opinion.
Captain.
He was what?
Lloris was his captain.
Yeah, all through his reign there, or was it anybody else at one time?
Him only. Terry Kane was the vice captain.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ty. You have anything to add to? Yeah. Go ahead.
But hopefully, as you're saying, like I rather prefer Rich James. If not, since Raheem Sterling have experience in the Premier League, I wouldn't mind taking a gamble on Raheem Sterling than a goalkeeper. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I appreciate Raheem Sterling. Yeah, I think he's experienced enough to lead, but I don't know if I've seen him behave like somebody who I'd say, yeah, he's capable of leading the team. But that's just my opinion. Maybe he'll be under consideration. I don't know. But the names that were listed was Thiago Silva and wasn't Kepa one of them, and then who else? I'm not too sure really, but that's just me. Ty, I don't know. You have anything to add to this, or should I move on?
Mauricio Pochettino now is a new start. They need to show their real quality, but we need to create a market for them. Yeah. There's been a lot of quotations of what Pochettino says, and I'm gonna take a wild guess because in all honesty, I didn't see the press conference. I'm gonna assume that that's from the press conference. I'm not sure. But yeah, you need to. It goes hand in hand. You need the person to show their quality. You need to show that they're willing to fight. They're desired. I think Dybala was alluding to that. You need to see their attitude. You need to see how they perform in training, and how they decide to prepare themselves for any matches or any friendly games or any behind closed door games. With each other in terms of the whole squad. So I think in that sense, yeah, but at the same time, there needs to be a comfortable environment for them, an environment where they can believe that if they need to improve, then they're not targeted, they're not cursed, and if they do need criticism, it won't be at a level where it drops their morale or it affects their morale. So. In a sense, it goes hand in hand. They need to perform good, but the environment and the atmosphere has to be good as well, and it has to be filled with positivity and a very mature perspective at how to handle any negativity that may occur in terms of the performances or how they decide to prepare themselves for any games or matches or any training sessions.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ty. Thank you so much for that. I have some other updates. Once we get this one's lined up, I'll get this one so we can call it a day. What else? Read this one. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat so we can catch up that one and see more updates from DJ and AD. Wood Shed said, sounds like Colwill is turning into a Mason Mount divide before he has even kicked the ball for us. No thanks. Time for CFC and Poch to put out his fire. To put out this fire. To put this boy in his place. I think we have to handle it cautiously. Not to alienate him, but at the same time, not to make him feel like he's too important, if that makes sense. Chelsea, let's see. Caicedo overrated. Gallagher needs to be sold. ZH out. Chauvin, nice to see you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes should go along. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're at 170 likes, but I don't think we'll be able to get it to 200 because we're going to be rounding off in a few minutes. Sterling was captain at City for a short period of time. So, yeah, he's been there. Maybe he gets it. I don't know. Sterling, Kane, and Nkunku could be a good mix. Kane, we'll never get Kane. You know that. For me, it is Thiago Silva and Rich James as future captain. Yep, that's what I think. Because James's roots in the Chelsea Academy makes a difference. And maybe that's why he gets it. It most likely get it over what's his name over Raheem Sterling. I'm sorry to say it, but Lukaku is starting to piss me off. It's just starting to. Okay, congratulations. You've not been suffering with us. I was supporting him, but I can no longer accept. I'm not going to read that part. Hi, Coach, but nice to see you, Lusala. Sorry, I'm letting you know the participating in the show doesn't pay your bills, bro. So I understand. I am late. What have you been updating about? Quite a lot. Caicedo, nothing new. I think everything is just the same. The only new thing today is that Inter are willing to come back with an improved offer, something close to what we're asking. Some quarters are saying that we're going to do a swap with Juventus, that they want Lukaku. Some are saying actually that Juventus have agreed personal terms with Romelu Lukaku. So nothing new really. But like as I said during the start of the show, we don't have too much to talk about, but we'll talk quite a lot about what we have to talk, the little we have to talk about, if that makes sense. But nice to see you, Patrick Just, more importantly. So this one here says Pochettino on Levi Colwill. He says, I need to get a feel for him, which needs to see him play. I need to hear what he has in his mind, what he expects. Then, of course, for him to listen to what I expect of him. Yeah, because it's not going to be all about him. So I think that's when the club decides what to do. There's a chance we're still signing. There's a chance he stays. But everything comes down. I think we'll find out after his conversation with Mauricio Pochettino. But that's, by the way, let's look at the other items we have lined up here. We've talked too much about Levi Colwill. Let's move on to other items we have lined up here, and then we'll round off after that. Yeah, we're going to start from here. This one here, Inter Milan are structuring a bid for Romelu Lukaku that will be worth about £35 million, inclusive of bonuses, and I hope that that will be enough to convince Chelsea. Lukaku is prepared to take a salary cut to return to Inter Milan. Yeah, as long as it means we're not going to be paying a large chunk of his salary anymore. I think that's not a bad offer. But if Juventus are offering more, I'd rather we're selling to Juventus. I think I like what the club did. They've proven to him, look, we have authority with regards to what club you join. We get it. Nice to see you too, Patrice. Just quickly, Eddie, I'm going to meet you in a bit. Once I'm done, I'll bring you on. This is we can send Gallagher to Tottenham as an Indian Maharaja riding on an elephant as really in exchange for Kane. You will never get Kane. But go ahead, Eddie. That sounded like you wanted to say something.
Yeah, just on Lukaku. I don't see Lukaku accepting to go to Juve. I don't think he'll go to Juventus, to be honest. I really don't see that. That's why that report that is saying he's accepted a pay cut. I mean, as much as a 20K a week reduction, just to make sure he gets this deal done. I say, I don't know what he has with Inter. I don't know the kind of bond he thinks he has with that club. He just Inter or nobody. So I really don't see him accepting to go to Juve. And then has anybody seen anything about Cucurella to Tottenham and Gallagher to Tottenham?
Yeah, I think we talked about it. We didn't discuss that at length because I haven't seen it from sources that I trust that much to take it seriously. Yeah.
So, but you think with no chance getting Kane, yeah, coach?
No, it will never happen for reasons I've
what if we give them? If they say,
my opinion.
If they say they give us if they take Cucurella and Gallagher and then they give us Kane, it can't happen, no.
The question will be: would Kane want to come out saying no? Yeah.
Wow.
He's not getting any younger, and he wants to win something. And Chelsea at this point isn't that club where he gets a chance to win anything right now. Yeah. Okay. For instance, Bayern want him. Bayern can offer Champions League, and he gets a chance to win the Bundesliga. But Levy has proven difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
But coach, I don't think Harry Kane wants to leave the Premier League. He just wants to break that Alan Shearer record. But due to the circumstances, I think he might leave for free next season. That's my opinion.
He comes to us even for free next season? It depends if we have Champions League.
No, not to Chelsea. I don't think he will come to Chelsea also. That's my opinion. Mm-hmm. It's too risky for his reputation.
Yeah. Yeah. Ty, you want to add anything to that, or should we move on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Crystal clear.
About the Lukaku thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you can move on. I've said a lot about Lukaku.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. What else do we have here? Chelsea all the way saying Colwill should realize the squad is made of 25 players and not 11. He should be in the 25-man squad. Then if he proves to be better than the person he's competing with, then he gets the chance to be the starting player. Gallagher wouldn't go to Spurs. He would rather be a squad player at Chelsea. He bleeds blue. I think I've seen that myself. You'd have to push him out. Have Chelsea signed any other player? No, nobody knew. Patrick Joyce. 1 month left until the to the new Premier League season. I think we're good. Believe me, I think we're still bringing player. Maybe we'll be waiting to the season before we sign all the players we want. I don't know what happens. Kane is turning 30, and we'll find it difficult to find a club willing to pay 100 million for him. Just look at Zaha, who made it too late to escape Palace. Yeah, and then I think he left them as a free agent. But that's right. Well, let's see what else we have lined up here. Still Lukaku. Matt Law saying striker Romelu Lukaku is willing to give up almost 1 million a year to join Inter, who will make a new bid for Chelsea this coming week. He's not interested in supposed interest from Juventus. Wow. Okay. This week, I don't know what outlet is this. Blue Co Extra. Wow, somebody just started this one new. Merging Strasbourg and Chelsea.
Yeah,
sorry?
Is what I'm talking about with Dude Galletti. He said it was done. Now he's saying that this week could be important, could be decisive. Unbelievable.
Okay. Who do you say that is? Galletti, is that him?
Yeah, Rudy Galletti. Rudy Galletti said that, and last week I think was it last week? Whatever week it was, he said that that they have agreed a fee and it's now about we call it the structure of the bid. That's what he said. So like this I'm telling you, this is not adding up.
In so many ways, yeah. This week could be decisive for the future of Mauricio Caicedo. An important talk between Chelsea and Brighton is scheduled. The current position of the club is clear. Brighton want 100 million. Chelsea wouldn't exceed 90 million pounds. Okay, that's quite a lot of money. I don't think we'll pay them anything close to 100. Laporte from City for 20 million will be a great deal. Good luck getting him for 20 million. Juventus have reportedly asked Chelsea for Romelu Lukaku 25 million euros in exchange for Dusan Vlahovic 90 million. Okay, that's 90 minutes. You're quoting 90 minutes football. The source don't know how reliable they are. Okay, you don't know how reliable the source is. Thank you for that. How can we compromise the fact that Levi doesn't want to sell Daniel Levy? Okay, Daniel Levy doesn't want to sell Kane to Chelsea, but want Chelsea players, if at all, the rumors are true. I think that's the best way to put it. What else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes took on a long way. Rude Galletti is the right source. Okay. So maybe he's saying the truth. I don't know. Let me see. It looks like we have any other update here. I don't know if anybody else has anything else to say. Anybody? Tabeho, you want to say anything about the what's his name? The Caicedo. Should I call it situation or Chelsea's pursuit of Caicedo? Where we're at, I'm not too sure where with that one.
Go
ahead.
To be honest, coach, like we talked about this, we said this deal won't be easy due to the fact that first thing, Mrs. Caicedo doesn't have a release clause, so Brighton have a control of the situation. Another thing, Brighton want Levi Colwill. So they will try all means to make it hard for us. So that's my opinion for this one.
Yeah, maybe push us to say, okay, you want Levi Colwill, okay, let's talk. So we don't count that out. Yeah, I agree with you. Let's see what else we have here. City 130 million for Laporte. Not a bad price given that he's experienced too. Man United had a lot of players that need to be sold. Yeah, and they haven't sold any yet. With that, I don't know if we have anything else. One more thing here. We just talked about that DJ here this shared talked about that in the chat and when we read it. This one says Ryan Turkey wants to join former teammate Melo Gusto at Chelsea. Wow, Agent Gusto. Let's see that happen. I like Turkey. I hope we get him. But that's by the way,
if you get Turkey, I deserve my props because I was the first one to break.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us more about it, Ty. What's the possibility?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I got a lot of hate for it as well. Anyways, yeah. So basically, what I had said from the very beginning, all of this move, any move for Turkey would have been associated with the exits of one or two attackers, namely Pulisic, which is now one of the likely options because Pulisic has agreed a fee and everything. Here we go to AC Milan. And then you have the other option, which could be one of Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi, which would open not only the door for Turkey, but obviously Gabi Veiga would have been the option to replace Mason Mount. That is still up in the air. You hear one day you hear PSG think they can rival and beat any other club that's in for him, and then you hear the next day that they've agreed something with him and whatever. But in terms of that, and just like this says, Malo Gusto would play a key role in it as well because obviously the teammates they can associate with each other. They're around the same age range as well, so in a sense it would be beneficial. And I think Malo Gusto could be another part of it because they will work quite well together because I think in a sense Turkey is a player that it has a flexibility, and that makes me want to do a player profile video. Anyways, in terms of flexibility and where you can play, if he plays on that right side, obviously where Malo Gusto would play when he gets that time, it could be beneficial. But I think at this point, a lot of this is associated with the exits or the outgoing, such as Pulisic being one and getting approximately 20 million or that range from AC Milan, and also it funding another move, especially if Ziyech, which is supposedly 8 million, that could facilitate other things. But I think the move that Chelsea will hopefully try to get over the line first is probably an exit for Hudson-Odoi, because that would perhaps bring in more funds and that could also help with the cash flow because they don't want to be spending more than the amount they've sold. And obviously they've sold quite a lot in terms of getting close to 100 million range, but they don't want to really be spending and are not really selling at the same rate. So at this point, I think it's important to focus on the fact that they want to get rid of two attackers that may not have a future at the club. Pulisic obviously has been over the line for AC Milan, and Hudson-Odoi has interest from English clubs as well. So they would perhaps look to sell him to one of those clubs, try to get more funds, and that can facilitate. Because like I'd said, Lyon have put a price range of 50 to 60 million euros. It's less than in pounds, but in that range. So in a sense, a lot of people don't really think that is really a price they should be going for, especially for a player that's young as him. But in that sense, Lyon have a price on the player, and I believe they have this sanction on them as well. So in a sense, it would have been complicated to really get him in the easy way, and obviously they would want to some good funds in terms of that. So in terms of everything, it's important to follow which attackers leave because that could play a huge part in funding any move for Turkey. But he's not the only player. Florian Wirtz, I always pronounce his last name poorly, that German player from Leverkusen. There's interest in him, but it's not as strong as with Turkey or perhaps Gabi Veiga and other options as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Most of the time, these rumors come from the middlemen who are trying to get some sort of deal done for a commission. CFC should stop these middlemen and work directly with this established agents. Yes, then if you close it out from your own end, the selling club it will still have middlemen that will you could say leak things out. I wonder who Chelsea will sign next week. I'm not too sure at this moment because things seem a bit slow, but I'm not concerned. King Dominator, hello. I'm back. Chelsea need to buy you, bro. You should play at CB. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you for saying that. We could see Reece James in midfield and Gusto right back. I don't think we have the luxury to do that. But if that happens, I'd take it. But that will mean you need one more right back, since one is playing as centre back, playing in the midfield. I don't think we'd do that. Gusto knew Chelsea has James to Chelsea, but still came to Chelsea. The only conclusion I can make at this juncture is that Colwill thinks Badiashile is better than him, hence not sure about starting. Okay, that's your opinion right there. Let's see what else we have here before we call it a day. Colwill isn't doing anything bad. People are just looking deep into it. And just you can say judging unnecessarily, but that's just my opinion. With that, I want to say thank you to Roger, who was here, chairman of the Goalkeepers Union, Roger. And thank you to IBZ, who was here. Thank you to Ty, my two bros on the panel right now for finding the three bros, actually. Thank you to Ty for finding the time to join. Thank you, my brother, from the Madiba land, Tobeho. And be sure to go check Tobeho's YouTube channel. He didn't leave anything in the chat, but you can find the link to his channel in the description section. Go check it out. Check out Titus' YouTube channel. The link to Ty's YouTube channel is pinned at the very top. Go check it out. If you haven't, please, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you to AD Love for Blue for all the updates. Bro, I really do appreciate that. We really need Mr. Abramovich, you think? Yeah, we miss him, but I think I like the direction we're going now, because I've always known that day will come. Maybe he's not going to be our owner someday. What are we going to do? We cannot be spending money that much, and it's happening now. And that video, I think that was my first live stream, actually. But that's why I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat. Keep King Dominator, Chelsea till I die. Chelsea all the way. Who else do we have here? Patrick Joyce, JC, God of Frogs, Shavane, and who was DJ. So I appreciate you, bro. Always coming on with some good updates. I sincerely do appreciate that. With that, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you to all of you for finding the time to join. God bless us all. See you guys during the evening show. Helgi message me. He'll be hosting the evening show today. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.